Matrix still.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Woo!
May the fourth be with you.
I guess.
No, it's a thing, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You
It's
can't-
a whole thing. I don't feel like I heard very much media around. Maybe I was busy today at work. I was busy
Darth
today at
Vader.
work, so I didn't hear a lot of there wasn't some kind of crazy drop on Disney Plus of Baby Yoda funness or anything.
It's cool. Wait, what's the? Oh, is like tomorrow a thing too? Didn't they make it like May the Sith be with you or May the Sith or something? Because it's the 5th.
Oh, right, 6th. Wouldn't it be like
it's the
6th?
5th tomorrow.
I know, but wouldn't it be the 6th?
It's a
for the
3-day
6th?
thing. So
Oh, it's a whole Jesus. So it's like a whole
it's a
they
trilogy.
probably have
Welcome to the trilogy
Nice.
of Star Wars.
Nice.
If you know what the hell that we're talking about, throw that in the chat. So welcome back. I have been out of it, man, for a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have not been on stream for quite a while now.
Hey, what's Michael? What's up, man? Saturday's free
Magazoo.
comic book day. Yeah, hell yeah.
That's
No, I've
cool.
been out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
I have not done a Witcher stream. I haven't
Yeah.
okay, I did the only other one is that we
played Halo
We played
last
some
week.
Halo. I've been sick as a dog for
Yeah.
about 4 freaking weeks. It is the longest I've been sick in a minute. So, hey, and I think Mike was sick. Hopefully you're gotten feeling better, man, because that sucks. But now I'm back. Hopefully I'm not going to be choking up too much as we start getting
Or
through
getting me
this, so-
sick.
No. Just keep drinking your whiskey. You'll be just fine. You'll be fine.
I'm sterilizing myself from the inside. That's what they say.
Just go this far. Sterilizing yourself. Isn't this like how you keep warm when you're about to freeze outside
Oh
or
yeah,
something
that's the
like
best
that?
way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
And then how you freeze so
Like,
that you
Michael's
forget.
Will's feeling better, so that's good.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so today we're going to do some very fun things with AI stuff. We're going to do the AI board game that we're making. We've made progress on that. Like Mike was on the last stream where Kathy and I were on for a little bit doing it. Yeah. And
I'm excited because, I got to be honest. I've been in the AI world a lot lately. In terms of just
Adam has
random
carved
things.
out. Adam has carved out a section for himself where he's just I do this fuck off show where I drink whiskey and I talk about AI and sort of half listen to it and I read a couple articles, and now he's on the board of CSU's AI programs.
So I did my second one yesterday, and thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yes.
and now I've been I think I just got an email tonight. They want me to be a guest speaker at Baylor Medicine School about AI.
It's amazing.
So I'm gonna bring this guy is coming with me. He is
Where's Baylor Medical Institute?
Isn't that in Nebraska? No, wait, no, that's not Nebraska. Something else.
I have no idea.
Anyway, Baylor Medical School. That's not
Texas.
promoting it. Yeah, Revenge of the Fifth. See? Revenge of the
Okay,
Fifth.
fifth.
There you go.
I see. May 5th is Revenge of the 5th. That makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. Well, so in any case, AI has changed every freaking single day as we've gotten to this. And it is a crazy conversation.
Man, yeah.
And so I just wanted to say, and I know this isn't 100% on the script, but when we were on there, the couple AI presentations that I've done, the first one, 100% presentation generated with AI, went into it. And I told everyone, this is 100% AI, just to be super meta about it and let them know, this is the thing, it's coming in there. And some people just don't get it, but I'm doing it to educators.
How many people would you say of the, when you did it to a larger 40 person group, right? Educators probably had some kind of inclination. They would even show up to something like that.
The thing with education is they're typically behind. They're always
that makes sense.
They're not catching up, and so it's
Head in the clouds. These academics.
And so a lot of them are how are we gonna stop this thing from taking my job? You take my job. What's that thing with South Park?
South Park, yeah, of course.
No, literally, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're hey, I'm the guy that can go out on stage, or the gal that can go out on stage and tell my stuff because I have all this insight. And you're gonna listen to me, and you're gonna take that in, and that's going away.
Yeah.
Knowledge is not under lock and key, and you don't have to go memorize all this thing from an expert anymore. And so how does it change your world? And so we had 45 some people that were in a conversation about AI. My favorite thing, Ryan, is that when you get somebody that does not know what it is, and you explode their mind.
Those are the best. Oh God, those moments when somebody goes no, I haven't heard of that. What's that about? And they're and they're technology savvy enough that you can convince, that you could just show them real quick and they do something in, man, God, that is such a good feeling. It's like giving somebody VR for the first time. And they're
It
like,
is.
what's this VR? I heard it's crappy. Holy crap, what? And you're like, the future. It feels exactly like that.
And I feel like I am at the low end of the
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
totem pole, and it feels like
Right.
I'm riding this wave
Totally.
because now everyone's like, "Oh, Adam's the AI expert," and I'm like, I just know how to like read a little bit more than you, and I got into it like
100.
just a little bit more.
Even in my job, which is much smaller in scale than your job, our little team, like I am the one who like brings that stuff up and it brings it up in an excited way and tries to like integrate.
But
it.
it's good because here's the thing: there is a negative side to it.
100%.
100%. There's like all this shit. We're gonna talk about some things that are happening negative tonight.
Yeah.
And you know, the problem is that if you just talk about the negative and the positive, all you're doing is talking. You're not like saying, all right, well, I'm gonna acknowledge there's this thing that could be good and could be bad. We're doing that, but we're also grasping it. We're moving it forward, and we're just saying, okay, well, let's embrace some of the good, so we're on that side of it. And so that's been the posture I've taken. I'm like, all right, lots of bad crap happening. If you don't know how to use it and use some of it for the good side, you're not going to be able to combat the bad side.
Sure.
That's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah.
Because I can't control AI. I'm not going to be able to control this. All I can do is learn it enough so that I can like make sure that the bad stuff doesn't get into my life as bad as it could be for somebody that doesn't understand that crap.
Well, I saw an article title. I'll admit that I did not read the article, but the title was like, you're probably not going to get replaced by an AI, but you're probably going to get replaced by a worker that uses AI well, as opposed to you who does not use AI
Precisely.
well, right?
Get your ass on the tool
Totally.
so that you could be more effective.
Yeah.
I've heard of so many people getting like in jobs because they write their CVs, they write their resumes using it. They're starting to leverage it as a tool. And one of the things that I think we've been starting to get better at is we're prompt engineers. We're starting to understand how to use the tool. Because some people are like, well, if you ask it to write an essay on this, it's not going to look that good. And I'm like, no, it's not going to look good if you ask one question.
Well, and even like in my job, we're trying to, let's say, train a model to do a specific thing so that then I can keep adding the same prompt to something that's already built up and creates new things in that way, right? So like if I'm trying to write really concise summaries of certain concepts or something like that, and I can train the model in a perfect way that like maybe the best way for people to learn is for it to be at a 7th grade level, written like in this sort of tone of voice and with these types of like, you know, different inflections or different ways how it explains it or something. And if you could nail that in, then you're just like, now just explain this topic to me, and now explain this topic, and now this topic, because it's already trained in that direction. So I feel like that's where the thing of education is going to come in, right? Is we're going to figure out exactly what it takes to train different types of people, you specifically. And then you'll have these models that like have all those prompts that are amazing, and they're generated towards you because they're teaching it to Adam Pocious, who's 42 and lives in this place and has this background and is this whatever. Like that's how it becomes custom.
It
everything.
is. It's amazing. And like Mike said, you know, he's been introducing it to his wife, and she's looking for some jobs, and it changes her world. It transports people to the future. But I think it takes you to the future, and then depending on how you absorb it, you might be able to start saying, okay, this is how I can use it as a tool.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do not think about it as, okay, you said I'm 42, right? We have...
Should I not have?
No, you're good. What I'm trying to say is, so I have some kiddos, you know, I got a 13 and 14-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of the problems, and I'm not going to say this is a problem with them, so to speak, but like, I remember learning on a typewriter.
Yeah.
So
I owned a typewriter.
I've had to build like creative or critical thinking skills. I've had to like navigate this experience. So when I come to a new tool, I'm bringing all that experience to it. Mm-hmm. So if you come as like somebody that doesn't know how to do research or critically think yet, or like if just developing those critical thinking skills, like I'm nervous that they may not be able to see it that way. They're like, oh, this is just giving an output. When I get the output, I'm like, that is probably BS, and I want to make it better. And like one of the things that I've been teaching a lot of people is when I put something into like a language model is I put a lot of content in there. I'm not just saying, give me this. I'm like, I know exactly all the things that I want to write. Help
Sure.
me write this better. And
Yeah.
then it spits that out. I'm like, okay, that's a bunch of bullshit right there. Let me take this. And so what it comes out is a collaboration. I'm feeling like collaborating
Totally.
with this. It's like an assistant at this point.
Yeah.
It's not just something that like overtakes my brain power to be able to make something awesome.
So the only and so we should move on at some point because we're 20 minutes in. But like I would say that some of that comes down to, you're talking about like critical thinking being gone, right?
Right.
Like,
Well,
and
not gone. It's
not
just,
gone, but depleted, right? Because you don't need to do that work that gets you there. The only thing that I would say, and so our friend Adam's colleague, my previous colleague Sam Eversole, is, you know, has a opinion piece going out in the Pueblo Chieftain this weekend, I think. And I was reading it, and he was sort of pessimistic about that same type of thing, right? That like that type of stuff would be going down. My only thing is like, usually people are, the reason that we've like come to where we are as a human species, right, is because we're like super curious and we want to like figure things out and mess with things,
Sure.
right? Like, and that's how you end up with society the way that it is, and our brains getting bigger and things like that. I don't know if necessarily that is ever going to go away in a few generations, right? I don't think it will. I think so you're always going to be curious. You're always going to be trying to push the limits of whatever it is. And so if that means that like a bunch of the drudgery or the research or the writing of stuff is taken care of, you're like, where is the next point where I can reach out and be creative and be innovative and show that I'm smarter and cooler and more creative than the rest of these monkeys, right? And so then you become like, well, I already have that. Now I have to go up even higher than that and use these tools.
So what you're telling me is like we've got to like a certain point in our brain where we pushed it really, really to this far point. And now what this is doing is extending us beyond things. Like this was a great example that I actually brought up in my recent discussion, is that like coders, programmers, when they use ChatGPT, the old way of thinking is like, oh, I got to go to my code and I got to go troubleshoot all these little bullshit things.
Sure.
Now ChatGPT goes and fixes it, makes it more concise, and it gives them this ability to take it 10 times like further than they normally would have been doing. And so what we're saying is, the output of GPT or whatever AI isn't what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
How do we still educate on the process
Right.
of getting those great outputs to make something amazing? That is, I think, where we just need to continue to focus our attention in a way.
It's being able to say, I am curious and I want to do new and different things, and I want to use whatever tools are available to me to do that thing, right? Is having that mentality.
And having creativity though, but if you don't
and
have
creativity.
it, hey, so chat, if you're out there and you're listening to this, like you're part of this. This
That's
shit is
true.
happening to y'all right
Yeah.
now. What do you think about AI?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, can you use it in your job? Is it going to replace you? Is it something that you're fearful of? Let us know in the chat like what you thought, because like,
Also,
it's a big deal.
double drop down on Discord. We are posting amazing fun. Excuse me. Things in there like that, you know.
Sometimes fun. Sometimes I'm making presentations and you're getting pinged on stuff.
Well, that's me because I'm in your like I'm
enough.
in that mid journey thing, but in the general chat, like we were doing lots of.
Well, you know what? Let's like we're gonna talk about. We were just talking about Sam Ebersol. So the hope is we can get him as a guest on the show. So he sent some things to the Chieftain. We're not gonna tell what he sent because it's not been published yet. But we got an early read of that, and so we're gonna go ahead and check that out. So
yeah. So here's things we're gonna talk about today. I want to talk about Microsoft Designer. I couldn't remember what the name is. I literally found out about this today. It came out last week, but I'm interested.
Microsoft Designer.
Adam has not heard about it or checked it out at all, so that'll be a fun intro
Hell yeah.
to him.
I'm excited.
And then some news, right? AI news. AI is, man, affecting actual business decisions being made
Right now.
I feel
right
like
now. Shit is happening.
That's what makes it so fast, is because I feel, or scary is because it's so fast.
And it's happening to people right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I appreciate the chat. So we got, Stealth Mouse, obviously you're married to me, so you understand some of this. But I mean, you got to think about the implications and where this is headed.
Everywhere.
And then Mike, I appreciate the fact that you see it as a toolkit as well. And I think that's the mentality that if people can adopt it and not just like be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I did hear though, there was this writer, the really decent writer. And he said like, my livelihood was with this guy that was paying for me to do his marketing campaigns. He's like, I felt like I was really good. And he's even said this is on Reddit. He's like, 3 weeks ago, I came on here and said, I'm not fearful of the job. He got dropped by the guy because the guy said, you know what? I can spend a lot less money, get close to the results that you were doing, but I'm sorry, I'm using ChatGPT. You're out.
Or like I can use a freaking intern.
Yeah.
Right. To do it as opposed to like paying you a high-end person who has all this. I can get 80% of that with a third the price person using ChatGPT as their like tool that goes with it. Whew.
It's interesting. Before we go on, I just wanted to just for the hell of it, because we're talking about AI, I always love to show off some things that we were doing. So I just gave a presentation quite recently, and we're going to go into designer in just a second. I just want to show you some cool like art. One of the questions though, there was a lady that
called out. It was a legitimate thing to call out.
She called out and she was like, every freaking AI thing is basically white people.
Or that's the default, right? Like if you don't ask specifically for it,
for diversity,
it's basically going to give you.
So what happened is like, I'll go and here was the presentation that I gave. And so here's the thing is, as I've been giving these presentations, I was like, everyone's going to just talk about AI. We're going to go down the philosophical like rabbit hole of AI.
Yeah.
So my strategy has been, I'm using AI to write my presentation and AI to do all the graphics on it. I'm just doing it because, I'm going to start demonstrating what the hell this thing can do. So the 2 presentations I've given in an academic sense right now have been 100% AI driven.
Or is it that you don't like give as much a shit about it?
I 100% do. Dude, I could talk about it right now. We're talking about then this is AI driven. And so what I want to show is that like people are thinking it's not great. And so if I can convince them that, hey, this presentation that I just gave you is 100% AI, like tell me that you thought this was AI that I gave this to you. And you go that. So one of the things is that even the prompts that I got to get these images were driven by AI. Nice. I asked them to say,
ChatGPT to Midjourney,
give me prompts on it. And so what I did is, and I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it was like, let's just take a quick like peek at it. This one said, design an image that showcases a role of ChatGPT enhancing lesson preparation. Illustrate a teacher sitting at a desk surrounded by lesson outlines, discussion questions, and case studies generated by ChatGPT with a holographic AI assistant projecting the content. So
ChatGPT came up with that prompt?
ChatGPT gave me this prompt. And so this is what I got from the prompt. And I thought those were pretty damn good results. Yeah. I think I used this bottom right one. I loved this one, but it was like, it felt a little creepy with the big old person, but it was there.
We got to get to Microsoft Designer.
We are going to get to
this. No, because like we should do this exact thing in Microsoft Designer.
Let's do it. And so here's the thing though. Let's just take the quick commentary. And this was my question to you, is that it doesn't apparently give diverse people. I don't know. Is this like this is obviously some weird hipster dude. I could get that. I don't know. This seems somewhat diverse. I guess you could be white.
Yeah.
I guess these guys do look
Jewish,
white.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, you could see that.
But regardless, I guess the point is it does have some things. So here was another one. Like
the problem with it is like, that the reason that it's coming up with mostly white is because all the stock photography and all the crap that it's coming up with is mostly white, right?
Yeah, you have like dark-haired people, but maybe not. So the funny thing is, after the presentation, somebody's like, "Oh my God, I did an AI generation of something, and I wanted to have Hispanic students gathering in a classroom." And she sent me what they did, and she had like an emoji of like, "Oh shit, this is bad," and it was really bad AI, whatever she used. And she's like, "Could you give me this?" So I went into it, and so this was what I got. So as far as diversity is concerned,
sure.
So let's just look at a couple. This one, I mean, Hispanic students gathering in the classroom was the thing. So for whatever reason, there's a weird turkey chicken thing picture in the background, whatever the fish that is, but
it's almost like a window, and then they're in prehistoric times with a giant turkey.
But I mean, you got different ethnicities in there. I don't see too many white folks in there, which is good. I mean, or bad, or however you want to look at it. You got some some different African Americans. You got some Mexican.
I feel like that looks
folks.
great.
It's like, I think it did good when you asked it, though, was the thing.
Yeah.
And so I just gave her all this. I like this one. I love the lights in the room. It
Yeah,
it gave it this
that's
moody
really
feel
nice.
to it.
Really
Except for
nice.
this guy that like had his arms that somehow melded into each other.
That's pretty good.
And this dude like
Yeah,
checking
he
his
did.
arm like,
you'd have to.
I'm a robot.
You'd have to in-paint that.
Yeah, you would. And these people that are somewhat fake, and this person, oh my God, that looks like a Evil Dead Rise person. All right. Anyways, point being, we were able to get some cool images out of that. So we're talking about designer. Let's transition. I think this is a good moment to do that. If you have any insights, any things, throw it in the chat. We always love to hear what you're thinking out there.
Totally.
Especially as we're talking about something. Maybe it's something to hear, and then we go on with it. We vamp so much on this damn thing.
That's true.
We need you. We need to
like-
hear what you want to
yeah,
listen
yeah.
about more. So give us some
True.
insight. That's what we're here for. But like we said, we're getting into there with all these different things. Ryan here. Hey,
Ooh, Talon's in
we
the
got
chat.
Talon. Welcome to the chat.
Hey.
Hey, I just got to I'm going to take a quick sidebar. So Talon, he's stepping away from the innovative lab at CSU Pueblo, but that's okay.
two
And that's
better
good.
things.
He did he got the damn thing launched. When that guy stepped in there, it was like a janky ass 3D printer, and now it's like a multiple 3D printer lab. We have all
man,
these
sweet.
things amazing. So I just got to give the guy credit because he's been
100%.
amazing. But now he's done some amazing things. He's going in some crazy internship where he's doing things in
yeah.
like Fort Collins. So congratulations to Talon.
I
We
expect
need to
nothing
give that
less.
to him.
I expect
Hell
nothing
yeah.
less. He's amazing.
So,
So,
thank
cool.
you, Talon.
Congratulations.
Thanks for joining us
That's
tonight.
awesome.
So as we start to jump into this and we go a little bit deeper, you told me about Collins Aerospace, not Fort Collins, not even Fort Collins, Collins Aerospace. He's doing shit with aerospace.
That's sweet.
So hell yeah.
Totally.
Good job, man.
That's amazing.
Tell us what you're doing though. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what to. I think you're going to be applying all your amazing engineering skills, and he's a singer as well. He's become a Renaissance man in this time frame.
Triple
So
threat.
I feel like we should cheers this guy.
Cheers.
Cheers to Talon. Good job, my friend.
Yeah.
A Microsoft designer, man. Tell me about it. What's going on with it?
So, one thing that I feel like has been fun recently is just seeing as many companies trying to put out their newest things, right? I feel like I can hardly keep up.
Yeah,
And
stuff.
something came out literally a week ago, and I didn't find out about it until today. And I've only played with it for a few minutes, but from what I can tell, so this is Microsoft Designer, which is a thing that's in beta right now, but an open beta, so anyone can join it and do something with it. You don't even need to log in.
Hell
you
yeah.
just check it out. And from what I could tell, this is their first attempt at like a graphic designer killer. so this is their extended Canva almost. Like it basically combines all of the things that you could think of, right? ChatGPT, like large learning language models, right? To write copy for you.
Right.
And then generative AI to create visuals for you. And then actual text in layouts, and also video and like
Holy
it's
shit.
stock images.
So it's like pulling everything.
It's pulling everything together into one thing to create graphic design layouts. And the interesting thing is like right now it's really geared towards like Instagram posts. Like it's very social media focused.
Okay.
You know, their LinkedIn thing, their Facebook pictures, right? Their advertisements that you're creating. That's 100% how they position it, right? But I don't see too far away where that's like not just doing page layouts and all of that kind of stuff as well.
You know what I was thinking, and as you were just talking, like, and I appreciated that. It's like, what is the amount of people that actually would be using it for these kind of like things? Like it would, I just don't know. I don't know the percentage. Like, are there enough people out there?
I know
Okay,
exactly who it
perfect.
is. So right now, my wife, Catherine, she is teaching at an like a small community arts center.
Got it.
And they have classes that people take and learn Photoshop, right? Learn product photography, learn InDesign, learn social media like strategies, things like that, right? And what they're doing is they have a very small business, a tiny little thing that gets them their, you know, like it's their plus extra on top of their job or on top of their retirement or on top of their army benefits or whatever, right?
Okay.
And they're like, hey, you know what? I'm sort of set, but it'd be cool if I had this thing that could happen to go off. Can you so anyway, so those people, they don't have fucking marketing department, right?
Right.
Like they don't, but they know that what is important is putting things out on LinkedIn or putting things out on Instagram, adding a bunch of hashtags to it that does that, writing that, having those things go out 2, 3, 4 times a week, right? To all the people so that you can get it. They don't have time to do it, or they don't know how to do it, right? And so this is the thing that goes in and you go, I sell. So literally one person that Kathy works with is a lady who sells like rubber ducks. And she buys them wholesale from a place and she resells them online for a thing, right? Like on Amazon or something. And so they're little ducks with little, monocles and tuxedos on and little army ducks and all of that like kitschy, stupid garbage, right? That people buy.
Hopefully she's not watching our stream right now. We're apologize to you.
I mean, hey, okay. It's just like, it is what it is. And so her being like, if she could get an Instagram thing going of like fun duck picture and things about ducks and stuff, and it could write the posts for them and do the hashtags, and it would only take an hour to do 3 or 4 posts a day for Instagram, like that would be amazing for them.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's my question. What's the threshold where people like, it's just a bunch of shit, freaking AI all online, just chucking things around and no one's giving a shit anymore?
That's exactly what's going to happen in 18 months, right? Or 12 months or something like that. It's just going to get flooded with all of that stuff when those tools become not niche like me and you for you talking about them at some tip of the spear thing about AI, but like they just get democratized to everyone, then it's just going to get flooded with garbage. So then what is the other polarity of flooded with garbage? Like, if it gets too much, then who do you trust for any of that?
Well, so I think this, like, do you know what? Is AI gonna push us back to being real in relationships and, like, actually, like, caring about meeting people in real life?
I mean, think about education, right? Like, the essay is gone. Is it a thing that you have to do in real life with your real partner, collaborating and brainstorming and critical thinking about something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, does it have to be in real life?
I'm just wondering how many people are just gonna like mind-numbingly just accept this, and we're in a whole Wall-E scenario versus like the people that are like demanding.
100% it's gonna go Wall-E scenario. I feel like for majority of people, because you won't care, right? You'll be like, a majority of people just sort of, I want to just let them live, and they can just like.
You know what's gonna even be crazier? Is it's not going to be you have to design something amazingly. Like, you're going to send something out, and then your personal AI is going to adjust it so it, like, takes it to your, like, specifications of awesomeness. So it's like the people that can adjust to say, hey, here's the bullshit that I need to get out so that AI can interpret it so that it, like, goes to somebody else.
Because it's how it's custom everything. It's what I've been saying.
It's
custom
everything.
We should look at Microsoft Designer.
We're going to go to Designer now. That's the next thing. So let's take a look at it. So you've been telling me about this for a minute. Let me get this on a smaller pop-up here.
Let's watch the video real quick, because I feel like that will give a good, and then we'll play with it.
Hell yeah. Let's check it out, y'all.
Welcome to Microsoft Designer, a new kind of AI-powered design app that helps you make professional quality designs just by saying what you want. Here's how it works. Let's say you're putting on a concert this summer and need to get the word out. To get started, just tell Designer what you need to make. We can
feel like
even
this is
help you write
what Adobe was doing.
Prompt.
Yeah, a little
Designer
bit.
will quickly come back with some great
Similarly.
options that use Designer's massive
It just
catalog
Microsoft
of
came out with
professional
first.
images.
No,
Make
they
your
did this
design
in
even
Adobe,
more
right?
No,
personal
they
by
sort of
adding your own
teased it, but you
images from
can't
your
do
device.
this in Adobe
If
Firefly.
you
Yeah,
can't
we're
find
talking
that
over this so we don't
perfect
get like
picture, Designer can
DMA or
generate new
DMCA.
images
They don't
from
even
AI.
care about that.
Again,
They want their
just by
shit
describing what
advertised.
you want. It's never
I
been
don't know.
easier to start a party.
But it seems
You can
like
go
we're
in
just gonna
and
get
change
like
any part of a design.
bullshit, a whole bunch of this stuff that everyone's gonna look the
The
same.
ideas
Yeah.
pane
Can't differentiate
give you arrangement
between-
suggestions that make the text
too much.
fit right in. Designer
I love
can
it.
even
No,
help
I'm saying it's
write.
amazing.
But
So
here's the
you
thing.
say
Here's what it
just the
could
right
be.
thing. Right on.
It's just like everything has a bottom layer
Designer
of
also
looking
has some
okay.
incredible tools that use
Like, that's
AI to make
good.
time-consuming
Like, I
image
hate looking at
production
stupid
tasks a
things,
breeze.
like, or things
Let's
that
take this
aren't
concert out
designed
under the
well.
stars.
Sure.
Like, in
How
some
about
ways, you're like, great.
fireworks?
I want things to
For the
mostly
grand
look
finale,
good that I'm
we
looking
can
at.
use a suggestion with magic
God, it
motion
takes away
to make
so
our
much of the
design
like
come
talent and
alive.
skill to do this shit.
When
Yeah.
it's time to share your
No, that's
creations
all.
with the world,
That's all.
Designer makes
gone.
it easy to
Yeah.
share however
Which
you
is,
want.
I don't know, is that bad or
We'll even
good?
give
Yeah,
you
no, that's
AI-powered
terrible. But like,
recommendations
whatever,
with
it
captions
is
and
what it is.
hashtags
Like,
based
you
on
can't
content
adapt
go,
it.
you can't go like in.
And
the-
it puts hashtags on it.
Totally.
Oh my
AI
god.
Well, but it
helps
and
you get
not only
great
does it put
results
hashtags,
every
but it
step
like
of the way.
looks at what you're doing and
Designs that get
goes
people
with your
out of their
plan of
houses
what you're
to
trying
your
to do.
events
So you're
and
like,
your
I want to
parties,
sell
your
these to
sales,
these types of
or
people
just
or
make them
whatever.
smile.
yeah.
Here's your hashtags
Experience
that you're
it for
using.
yourself. Sign up for free at designer.microsoft.com.
Sign up for free. All right, I gotta vamp on that for a second because it's like I'm just so I'm pessimistic now that we're just gonna be so floodlighted with like a life of mediocre AI design. Like
And-
nothing's gonna stand out anymore.
Not only mediocre AI design, but also misinformation. Like and scams and everything is going to get flooded with
Everything.
all of
All right,
that.
all
So
right.
then that's what I'm saying. It always comes back to you have to have your own little AI that lives and protects you from the outside
Yes.
AI, right?
We're just
Because
gonna-
the AI, all the AIs are going to be flooding and giving you everything and spamming you with everything every
You heard
second.
it here first. It's the freaking AI revolution. Get your AI on your shit. I was thinking about it the other day.
You're just
like,
going to have a Comcast AI that you pay
well
$500 a
Is
month
it
for.
Comcast AI? You know what I was thinking is like, how badass would it be is if you took like all the shit you personally have ever posted and you trained your AI to be like a version of yourself.
Oh yeah, and then you're just like answer shit for me and do things, and then
Yeah.
just surface things that I might find interesting,
And
and
like
only show me that.
and respond that. Like our AI is going to be talking for us and be like, what did I say
Oh
today?
yeah, like 90% of my life, I just want the AI to figure out, and then that leaves the 10% of my life to I could just like fuck around.
10% or the 90% of that they're doing
the
that stuff.
90% is like the garbage stuff that I don't want to do because only 10% of my life is like the super fun, amazing things that get me
Fair
hyped
enough.
up. So now I want make that 10% 90% of my life.
What are we making today in designer here?
So I think what we should do is we should do a promotion for Double Drop Down, right? Like
all right, you're on post
Okay.
here. You're showing me this. shit.
so describe the design you like. And like I said, this is very social media focused. So I would say
So we're double
like,
drop down. Can you feed it anything?
So we'll look at that. Let's
All
like
right.
get the original. Let's
All right.
get the
Let's see
original
what it
thing
can do.
down. So let's say we want a Instagram post for the Twitch
Good type.
channel double drop down.
That's a good question I have. Do we have spaces between our words or is it one?
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it as multiple just for this.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe single quotes.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Which is an
amazing stream that everyone should be watching.
which is an amazing stream that brings together the latest in art and technology.
Arty and technology.
Art and technology. I wasn't even looking. I
love
can't
it. You did a
type
good job,
without.
man.
I
You did a
can't
good
type
job.
without looking at the keyboard. Sorry.
We'll just acknowledge that. All right, let's see if we get that from that.
Let's
That's
just
good.
try it.
Sign up, Ryan. Sign up for the prompt.
Apparently, I was signed up on my home computer.
That's what you did. Let's see if I can sign myself in. Well,
Yeah.
look at
Don't.
this.
Don't.
Let's
Yeah.
vamp
Yeah.
on
There we
this.
go. There we go.
All right.
I didn't realize. I mean, that makes sense. They want to collect that data.
Hell yeah, they want to make sure they know it. If this doesn't work, okay, am I in designer?
Oh, I should have
Am I
copied
in
it.
it? Am I in
There
it?
we go.
Hell yeah.
Generating design.
Oh my god, I
for
saw
us.
some dancing going on there.
All right.
Doesn't have our colors. You should have put like orange.
Oh.
What are our colors?
Orange and
It's okay.
gray.
Let's just see what the best one is. We have a little bit of scroll down. Like, look at that one with us like thinking. Oh, I like that one.
This one?
Yeah, let's see
That's
that
a good one.
I like
Okay,
it.
so customized
What-
design,
but you know, I do like the purple a little bit.
art and technology together. And then this guy, I don't know.
That looks.
Like that's fun. And then so what you can do is then you can say like, okay, I don't want that to be this. Then you can sort of choose Your different one. The nice thing about this is like if you've ever done any sort of design work in Midjourney or anything like that, it just put gibberishy garbage, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of cool because it actually adds it
what
together.
What it does is it's like a blending of the human element, because now you can make some decisions around it. It's just like here's some bullshit we're gonna throw out. Now you make it cool.
Totally. And the nice thing is that you can, so what I did was I was trying this for some like network leader stuff of just like, hey, I'll put this and it'll be some cool thing. And so what you can do is it attaches to your OneDrive, which I won't open, but like what you could do is you can upload things.
All that
porn on that. All those.
Yeesh.
So what you could do is you could put that in there and then you can upload it. And then, so let's say I wanted the network leader logo over here, right? Or the double drop down logo up here. Then you could add those things.
Nice.
And
so you're just leveraging pieces that you already have.
One fun thing.
Oh, I like that. I like old school stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that? Somebody on a slide? What the hell? Is that bacon? It looks like, oh wait. Oh, it's a leaf.
Some of these, I don't know if any of them are going to do it. Maybe we have to go back one.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back
because
to this.
So it'll do like there's animations that'll do it, and you're like, hey, do you want to save this out as a GIF and upload it? And you're like, sure, I'll do that.
Man, it's like, get on this right now. If you're out there and you're watching, you want to get your shit together. Wait. What separates these from a normal template?
So what I would say, I don't know, how much have you used Canva?
I've used it a bit.
Me too. Not that much. But this feels like the next iteration of that, right? Yeah.
I want to go back and see if we can get to the original. Oh crap! We'll talk about it. We'll get it back right in there. So Canva.
Yeah. Well, so Canva, what Canva will do, right, is you're basically picking templates and then you're going into the template and adding your own stuff. And the biggest problem I have with Canva is that you're very much limited to, if you pick a style that you like, you better adapt your content to that style, right? Because if it has 4 columns and you need 5, like usually it doesn't work, right? Like, because it doesn't scale and move and flex the way that you would have to do graphic design, right? Because sometimes you need 10 words and sometimes you need 5 words. And the difference between 5 words and 10 words is very different in how you would develop that design. And what I feel like this does is this is getting some of the way there. It's basically using that that language model to go in and just sort of fill in your template a little bit.
It gives you I totally screwed up and got away from it. The question, is that a real guy or is that an AI guy?
It's probably a real guy because they use a bunch of.
Okay. How do I get to my new design? Let's start this over. I want to do another one.
And again, I've only played with this for 20 minutes and I found it to be like, cool, but early days, right? Like you can see this going in a direction. Like this is their first little shot at it, basically.
All right, I'm gonna do all one word, double drop down Twitch stream about technology and sweet AI. Let's see.
All right.
Let's see what this gets. I don't think I spelled Instagram right. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure it's probably.
Pretty sure not. I'm gonna use my AI.
Instagram.
I'm gonna use my AI to fix my AI. Okay, so I hit generate, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need to do. Okay. Oh, shit, I hit it twice. Keep trying different variations. I want to get one with purple. I really like purple.
So write in purple.
Can I put like hashtag purple?
I don't know.
Does that help? We're picking this out on the fly. Let's generate some crap. Hashtag purple, baby. 'Cause purple's my thing.
I bet it like adds hashtag purple somewhere. Oh, no. There's more purple in there now.
All right, these ones are kind of lame though. Like, not so lame.
You're like, one thing. So in Adam's,
oh shit, that doesn't work.
webinar that he gave about AI, he mentioned a Twitter user that was giving some tips on how to create great prompts. Let's say things that you would write.
I feel like I should go to the presentation. Oh, I had it up already to go, man, just for this.
Let me get to the exact slide that I'm gonna dog you on.
Oh shit, he's gonna dog me on one of these.
Right here,
right.
This one. When I got this one,
Yeah.
I was like, you just write in, answer this like Einstein, and then it's gonna be better.
So, okay, here, let's talk about this.
Yeah, like, you know what I assume? That the ChatGPT is not going to answer it like the town drunk, you know? Like, he's going to have a pretty lane that he's in of smartness. And if I just say Einstein, I'm not going to get, like, the greatest answer that ever was conceived.
Okay, here's the deal. I wrote this freaking presentation an hour before I gave it.
All right. You don't need. I'm just saying on the merits of it.
But here's the thing, and here I'm gonna justify it on the fly. Is that what it does? Is it says, okay, if you just ask a AI to give you an insight, sure, it's gonna give it to you from that. But if you home in on say, hey, act like. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't want it to act like.
I don't want it
to be.
I don't like that asshole. But like, if you give it like something like a person, then it's gonna go and say, okay, what has Einstein ever said in his entire life? Let's use that as context to be able to give you some insights.
I would just think that you wouldn't pick smart people. You would pick like someone with a style or like you know, like getting an answer that sounds like Rachel Maddow or something, right? As opposed to Krusty the Clown is different.
I agree. So the point though wasn't Elon Musk or Einstein. It was the idea that when you craft a prompt, you got to give it specificity so that you can get the things you want to get out of it. If you just say like, hey, give me a design for a double drop down because I want to promote it on Instagram, it's going to give you some bullshit.
But if I say, give me the promotes double drop down as if you were a person with 1,000 IQ.
All right, let's do it. We're doing it.
Like that seems ridiculous. Like there's no...
We're doing it.
As if it's just going to use a whole bunch of big words, probably.
All right, let's see. Can you even get 1,000 IQ?
I don't know.
It's going to be like, you're an idiot. You can't even do that.
Exactly. Well, why stop at 1,000 IQ? See, these are worse. I've used that stock photo. This one.
You used this
I've
one
used
before?
that.
Oh my god, that's insane. Well, anyways, we're not trying to necessarily we were just playing with the tool. We're trying to get Instagram post about I put an AI.
AI double drop down Twitch stream.
A double drop down Twitch stream duo
focused on AI art and technology.
Okay, on.
It's just going to put a bunch of bullshit like VR headsets and robot arms reaching out, you know, which, hey, that's what I would probably do. What else are you going to put a picture of?
Yeah, that's true.
As a person with 1,000 IQ,
I'm
just like the end, I just like keep that copy and paste it, and I just paste that at the end of all of my things.
I like this one.
As if you were the smartest person on earth. Blap.
Yeah. All these are bullshit right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, these are some stock photo fucking like bullshit.
But okay, let's check for the merits of what this got. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Look at this one. Sorry. Look at this one. Let's put a cat in there.
Oh, sure.
Let's get that cat in there. It's Instagram-y, baby.
Oh man. All right.
Oh yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Doesn't matter. It's freaking cat.
The AI says it's good.
All right.
Hey, all right.
I'm digging that.
Okay.
That's good.
I like that.
Step
that looks
up.
nice.
Step up.
Okay. Now do variations of that one. Do
Wait,
they
how do
allow
you-
you
how
to
do you
do
do
variations of that
I
one?
don't know how do you do a variation. We don't know obviously how to use this tool. This is how we do. Wait, look, you pull this out. Oh my god, I love that.
Nice.
I love that you could get that.
And push it right up against it. Yep. And then we need the double drop down logo in the bottom left, all in white.
So I think the takeaway, what I'm hearing is we're gonna play with this a little bit. We're gonna see with it. See, like The problem that I think that we've been running into up to this point is there's so much shit that comes out every single week. It's like we're not going to be able to learn it all.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to trust what is out there. Like even right now, when I'm on Reddit, I'm on any social media, I'm like, I don't know, that seems like an AI post or something like that.
Sure, totally.
So we got to be a little bit careful as we go like that. So.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this is very cool. Like again,
thanks for bringing this up.
It's gonna kill a bunch of graphic design stuff, right? All of those. It's not gonna eliminate graphic design in general, right? You're still gonna need people to do that. But the further and further you get from this, the more and more somebody goes, why would I pay for someone that does that when I can just like jump onto here and do this thing? And did you see where you can add your brand kit? So you're like, hey, we always use Roboto and we always use these colors. Use that. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I definitely see that. So it's like, I guess the designers just need to know how to like spit it out faster. And they can't be unique with their craziness. They just have to be like, all right, I'm a really good AI prompter, so we can do that kind of stuff.
Totally.
I love it, Ryan. Thanks for bringing that up on the stream. So I think we're going to keep playing with that. So check out Microsoft Designer if you're looking at it. So kind of moving forward with it, let's just talk about impact. We were talking about impact of like, what's actually literally happening right this second because of AI. So you want to talk about IBM?
Yeah, well, I mean, like we were talking about a little bit before the show, that just the impacts of what these large language models are doing to companies is not theoretical at this point, right? Like people are making decisions about people's, like who they're going to hire and how much people they're going to hire and what they think the jobs that are going to be replaced by these systems are. And maybe they're true or not, but like people's lives are getting affected right now. And one thing is, so Microsoft, right, had basically a report came out that said they were going to not necessarily like fire any of their staff, but basically say like, hey, there's this percentage of jobs that people do at Microsoft. And a lot of it is in admin. A lot of it is in data processing, things like that. And they just said, hey, instead of our normal cadence of hiring these people, we're going to slow down and say, there's about 7,800 jobs, about 8,000 jobs that we feel like are just not going to pass the bar of the AI stuff, right? Like we feel like we could probably replace them. And so we're just not going to hire those people when they would typically come up.
But you were saying that was Microsoft. This is IBM, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's IBM.
My apologies.
So here it goes to, it's like 7,800 jobs already.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let's hold.
Yep.
Let's hold because we could probably replace our AI.
Yep. And that's a big bet, right? And maybe not, right? Like if it goes down, you go, well, whatever, we hire 7,800 people and we're sort of behind a little bit. But they're basically thinking like, hey, there's 8,000 jobs. And I don't know, maybe that's out of 50,000 jobs, right? That are doing those types of jobs.
Say?
It doesn't say, I don't think.
Back office functions such as human resources will be suspended or slowed, adding 30% of non-customer facing roles.
Okay. So basically they're saying they have, what is that? 30,000 back, human resources, back offline functions. Sure. And they're saying probably 30% of those we don't need. So in the next 5 years, instead of hiring 40,000 people, we're going to hire 32,000.
So what does that tell you though? Like, is people skills like the thing? Like being able to talk to another human is a thing, right?
Well, this is definitely the back is going to be the first one that gets it, right? It's like data processing, it's admin, it's organizing, stuff like that. I feel like that is.
So let's talk about Chegg. You talked about that earlier. So do anybody know what Chegg is? CHEGG?
I hadn't heard of it before this week.
I've heard of the word. I just didn't really like get what it was. But go for it. You.
Well, we heard a little bit. So Chegg basically said that they're like, what Chegg is it's a tutoring service for the most part. And maybe Talon in the chat knows more about it than I do. I just sort of read up on it in the last week when they were in the news.
It's in his soul.
And like it sort of does online tutoring for students. And I'm not sure how much of it, like, I think they've introduced some of their own AI stuff in an attempt to, you know, keep people there. But they have lost so much. They've lost half of the revenue of their company or whatever, or half the value of their company in the last few months, just because all of those students are being like, why am I paying for this? I'm going to just go over and ask ChatGPT.
Sure.
So, you know, it shows the death of that type of business model, I guess, of like online tutoring is just now completely gone over to chatbots, right?
Well, I made that as a comment. So one of the things is that when I asked ChatGPT to help write my presentation last time, it talked about, I'm just going to go over to it, whatever. We're going to go through this. Is that, so the presentation, all chat driven and whatnot, ChatGPT driven, which, okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
Can you take our titles off? Just
so
people can see that. There we go.
So one of the things that I've been trying to do is every presentation I do is I build it with ChatGPT. I do all the Mid-Journey images using ChatGPT prompts and then running it through there. The only thing that was not ChatGPT were some of these like how to use this. This was from an online user. But as you can see, like the prompts are underneath there that were built by ChatGPT. But one of the crazy things, and let me turn on some notes here. Oh God, how do I turn on notes on this? There's a way. Okay, so I throw the notes. The notes below this were actually written by also ChatGPT.
Nice.
But one of the things they were saying, and this is what I thought was really cool, is that one of the ways that we're really thinking is personalized learning and on-demand tutoring.
Yeah.
So this goes right to the Chegg conversation.
Yep.
Is that now, first of all, you got to have some level of trust in the responses from ChatGPT, or be critically like a critical thinker enough that you can say, okay, maybe that's a little bullshit, but it gives me enough insight. Yeah. But if you offers personalized learning experiences and these on-demand tutoring experiences, I mean, this is pretty powerful. I gotta give you one anecdote, Ryan.
Okay.
So the other day I had a question about it was a project management and change management kind of methodology.
Okay.
And so in my typical kind of normal way of going about things, I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to go on Google and figure out what the hell this is. So I put in Google these 3 terms. And one of it was like, I can't even remember exactly what it was. Like, there's neutralizers, and then there's like people that are like against change at an organization, and there's like advocates for it.
Yeah.
And there was these 3 terms, very specific. So I put those in Google, and I was like, I need to learn a little bit about this change management thing. Freaking Google just gives me a bunch of bullshit articles. And like, as I'm scrolling through it, I start looking at it. I'm like, this is not getting me to the answer fast enough.
Right.
I switched over ChatGPT. Man, I bet you it's in here.
Like,
I bet you.
I
mean, you can't see it right this second.
Log.
So I went in there and I pulled it up, and it got me exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I was like,
because
this is it.
You gotta scroll through a bunch of bullshit, like advertisements that are people paying to be at the top, the people who have like SEO'd to the death of their website to get to the top of Google. 100%. Like, Google said months ago that this was like category, whatever, like red warning for their entire business. And absolutely, I could see that.
So I got pissed off because I spent about, and I'm not even kidding, like 10 seconds on Google because I was like, I'm going to ChatGPT.
Right.
10 seconds.
And the only reason you went to Google to begin with is just reflex.
It was. And so look at my question. Describe the difference between advocates, neutralizers, and renegades. Those are the 3 words as it pertains to change management. So very specific.
Boom. And could you imagine putting that into Google?
Nothing. I put that thing into Google.
Try putting it into Google right now.
We should try that right now. That's a good point. And so I was critical of this. I went through it to make sure, but like the descriptions of it, everything that came out of it really was impressive. Like it got me enough there. So I'm going to put the exact same thing into Google.
Yeah.
This is what I got. I was just like, okay, now I got to pick which link I'm going to go into. And so let's just do
Right.
this. Let's go with the very top one promoted by
You
this.
probably, it's purple, so you clicked on this.
And I was like, bullshit.
And you're like,
I scrolled down and I was like, what? I was like, there's no context. It didn't get to the thing. I was like, so normal times, Control F, I start looking neutralizers. I start looking that's how I would approach that.
Yep.
This one, man,
Right
there. And look, it starts with an introduction. Context channel advocates, neutralizers, and renegades play different roles.
And it's only going to get better too. It's going to be at some point, it's going to know you, and it's going to know exactly how you want that information fed to you. And it's going to be like, "What's up, Adam?
Well,
hey, dude, neutralizers and renegades, man. They like."
I'm nervous about it though because
Yeah.
like I just don't want to like be tricked. Like I didn't want to get in this and like this is just like maybe there's some piece of bullshit in here that I just don't pick up because I'm trusting it too much.
Yep.
So I still have that like look at it like I don't know what it like. I'm not gonna trust you 100%.
Sucks.
But it gave me enough context to just be like, okay, I think I got the concept down.
It's bad because you know what? Like I feel like it's that critical thinking part of that, right? Where like when we, because like you look at your parents, right, or you look at anybody's parents, and you're like, ugh, like the way that they use technology and the way they fall for things, or the way that they like do stuff, right? But then like our blind spot is going to be doing stuff like this and being like, it's talking to me and it knows me and it's gonna saying these things, and you're like, of course I believe it, and our kids are gonna be like, Mom and Dad, you cannot believe the thing just because it says that it's like, hey, and it knows you and does stuff. It's like, you can't keep believing that. That's going to be like
you can't believe
our
it.
Old people.
But here's the other thing is like, how do you verify after a certain amount of time? How do you verify that shit's real? And how do you know? How do you know that article that talked about it wasn't freaking an AI that wrote it?
Is it like peer-reviewed articles that are brought up for each part of it? Like the only thing that I trust are these blue peer-reviewed article links that come up because
who gives a shit about peer-reviewed after a certain point?
Well, because at that point you're saying, what do I trust and what do I not trust, right? And so then the systems or the companies that build these, right, are going to have to show that you can trust these systems. They're going to have to figure that out, right? Or no one's going to trust anything. And then it all just falls apart at that point.
Michael says it. Eventually ChatGPT will be the Facebook of AI. Home of all the racist and old people.
Yeah, definitely it'll be moving on from whatever ChatGPT.
Well, and we talked about this. Is like ChatGPT. We've been using this on the chat on this stream as like the de facto AI. There are thousands of those already out there. ChatGPT just got to the freaking finish line. There's so much.
I was playing with Hugging. We've used Hugging Face.
Yeah.
They have a Hugging Face chat just came out this week. And I was playing with it a little bit and having it write programs for me just for fun. I was like, because it said one of the prompts could be, hey, write a game based on this something. So I had to do that. And it works very similar to ChatGPT, but just in Hugging Face now.
Well, let's end this conversation on philosophical where the hell we're going to end up in our lives in the future on ChatGPT, and let's go to the replacing writers.
Yeah, well, I'm pissed because I personally watch a lot of late shows. Like I watch, Stephen Colbert, and I watch Seth Meyers, and there's quite a few of late night people that I watch. And this writer's strike hit me instantly as soon as this happened because they were in the middle of the week. Like it was Tuesday, and then Wednesday there was no late shows that we watch in the evening, Kathy and I. And so I was like, man. So I started reading into this, and Hollywood writers are on strike. The West Coast union and the East Coast union both on strike. First time that's happened in 15 years, something like that, 20 years. And so anyway, part of this is, it's a whole big thing. It's a closed door discussion basically that they're having about it, so they don't know exactly what they're discussing, but part of it they know is that they want certain protections for AI stuff, right? That like you can't take what we've already written and use that to train AI models to write your new fucking Marbled movie.
That's what it's about?
Part of it is. Part of it they say that like movies that are written from like studios that use union writers
Right.
can't have anything that's written by AI. And because here's what they don't want. Right. And this was, I feel like there's a couple quotes and I put them in Trello actually, but like some of it is that they're like, here's what's going to happen. Here's what they predict is going to happen. The writers is they're like, you're going to use AI to write your fucking spec script. Right.
Right.
And then you're going to be like, it's basically there. It's basically what? So then I'm just going to hire writers to like punch it up and be this. And I'm just going to hire you for like a week or a couple weeks.
Yeah, you're not going to get the consistent.
And you're not going to get like the union dues. You're not going to get healthcare. You're just going to be this like Uber of writing that I need it when I need it, and be like, great, I got it 80% of the way there, and you just make it, you just put your little touch on it, your little human element that like Michael says, and it's just like, yeah, just add that little bit and then we're good. And I'll just pay you for that 2 weeks and you can go off with your little $10,000 and live your life. And they're like, absolutely not. We do not want any of that shit.
Hell no.
And, you know, they were saying, like, we were talking about this before the show, but like they were saying that these writers were like, thank God that this contract came up this year as opposed to 1 year from now.
Sure.
Because if it came up 1 year from now, who knows what would be there, and that we would have no bargaining power at any point, maybe in a year.
You know what this is like capitalism just screwing us to the like
Totally.
ultimate, like
100%.
Because here's the problem. AI, like we used to think, like go back 30 years, and we used to think of the future, hey, we're gonna be just like chilling in these like sweet places, and AI is gonna do all these things, and like life is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
But no, people are gonna monetize the shit out of it. Fuck over people
Totally.
that like
it
could
goes to
do
the top.
jobs.
It goes to the tip of the spear, right?
Yeah.
Like the top of the pyramid in that sense.
This is like, and so I'm like fired up because like we should be using this to make lives easier for just humanity.
It's where it becomes like you have to go from capitalism to like universal basic income or things like that, because because it can't just be the heads of Google and Microsoft and Open AI like are at the height of everything, and everybody else is there to give them back massages, right?
Yeah, it's bullshit. So I mean, we got to look at it. I don't think this is like the fucking nail into the heart of people, but we're close to some craziness going on, some kind of interesting future that we just don't even understand what's going to look like in the next 6 months to years.
It shows TV writers are thinking about it. Anyone who's using language is thinking about it. Anyone who's using visuals are thinking about it. Like all of that stuff is coming up, and it has to be dealt with, or you just go, okay, we're marginalizing that whole section of workers and everything, and being like, we just don't care about them. Let them, eat cake and and re-educate themselves in something that isn't taken over by AI. But then
what is that?
What is that? Right? At
like,
some point.
Like even to the point where I've been reading some articles about like even doctors, they're getting better reviews on AI and the same amount of like response from a literal doctor.
The only thing that saves this entire thing is that it's going to take out freaking white collar workers too. Because if it was only taking out blue collar workers, which is what computers and all of that stuff has been doing for the last 3 decades, then like no one would give a crap about it and it wouldn't have anyone. But as soon as you start taking out executives, and as soon as you start taking out like money managers and all of that kind of garbage that can get taken over by AI, suddenly you have, lobbyists who are saying we need to make rules that say that this shouldn't be happening, which hopefully they do.
But then they protect those positions, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Like we're gonna have to look at the policy making. That's a huge component of this, and like how do we just integrate it in our lives for the positive? And I don't know, time's gonna tell. Yeah,
and I'm gonna say vote.
Voting is good.
Vote for people who are thinking about this or incorporating that into their platform policies. It's really the only way that you can influence sort of larger change, I feel like, in the world. And talk about it, right?
Which we're doing here.
Yeah.
So thanks you for joining Double Drop Down. we're going to transition. We're going to use the shit out of some AI right now.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I appreciate the conversation up to this. Thanks, chat, for letting us know some of your insights on
Totally,
this.
it was great.
So let us do this as a transition moment, because one of the major things. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Thank you.
Just got to get you on camera.
Get on
here.
there. I'm getting out of the
You're
shot
leaning.
over here.
I know you're trying to lean
know.
away so you don't get me sick. I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be good, man. Hey, I haven't been coughing too much.
No, it's been great actually.
Got to throw some of that liquid courage in you. I've already drank enough of that whiskey.
Do you want to introduce this real quick while I do a bio break in between?
You can, and I just want to let everyone know that the bio break he's about to take is on an amazing new toilet that I installed in my house that has a bidet and a squatty potty. So yeah, I know it's weird, but you know what? I'm proud of it. Whatever. Hey, so right now, if you've been watching all of our different streams, one of the biggest things that we've been working on is we said, hey, let's make a board game. And we love board games. Ryan and I have played that. And actually, there's probably some people in the chat love more board games more than we do. We just don't have a lot of time necessarily to always be playing the board games. But when we do have that time, that's what we're doing. And so we said, let's use ChatGPT and AI to figure out how we can build a board game. So one of the things is, you're going to see it right here. There is the board game. And it's actually kind of amazing for me to look at this, just even in this kind of context right now, because it is what, like, I think this is the 6th or 7th episode. And I remember, and okay, well, Ryan's doing his little bio break. I got to read a little bit of the summary, because this is like a typical thing we do, is like, here is our North Star of the game that we've been building. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you've already heard it a couple times, but it's a Christmas party at a remote research facility located in the heart of the Arctic. And so essentially there's this guy, Dr. Frost. He's been doing some crazy experiments with Christmas magic. And unfortunately, he was releasing some magical energy from the North Pole, and it has messed up the world in some major kind of ways. So he brought his friends to celebrate this discovery of Christmas magic. But guess what happened? Shit went down. Christmas magic went out. We got some stuff at the research facility that went horribly wrong. Power's starting to fluctuate. Crazy-ass Christmas animals and crazy-ass Christmas monsters have been coming out. We need to get out of this Christmas facility. We also need to shut down some of the stuff that's gone wrong there and stop the Christmas magic. Ancient Christmas magic, by the way, according to ChatGPT. So it's been harnessed with inside of the world. So with the game itself, we're going to be fighting minions, zombie elves with, of course, candy weapons, robotic Miss Claus, reindeer, and they're attacking the guests, which is about 4 of us that are in this game itself. And so as we start to get ourselves out of this facility, we're trying to solve some puzzles. We're uncovering some clues, and we're going to stop one of the major the folks. It's the snowman spirit, and prevent it from taking over the world. Think how bad that would be. Like Christmas spirits taking over the world. So here I am summarizing the rules, our North Star, Ryan.
Yeah.
And so basically at this point, and I feel like I gotta throw this out there. So the very first episode, you and I were sitting here and we are like, all right, what the hell kind of even board games were out there? Yeah. Now we have a fully functional game. I have played this game multiple times. Ryan and Kathy did some additional work last time on the game.
Yep.
And it is like super close. We want to talk about some end game scenarios this time.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things. And actually, Michael, I'm really appreciate you being here, because I think you can bring some insights to some of those end games. Of course, everyone in the chat can as well.
Feel free to let us know. We don't know crap about building board
games.
But
we're homing in on this, and the hope is within the next couple episodes that we'll be generally done with the game.
Yeah.
And guess what? You get it for free.
Oh, 100%. Like the whole part of this is like we want to, because at some point we're going to, and Adam and I have to talk about this, you know, even off camera, because like building an actual board game that functions in a way and is actually fun, I feel like takes a ton of play testing. And so we would have to play test the hell out of this to make it an actual fun thing. And part of that too is like, do we do all the graphics and we do everything before we play test it and know that we have a honed in thing? Or do we sort of like make the graphics and make the characters on here? Because part of the thing that I am excited about is actually building the cool things that come with it and actually creating the cards and doing that stuff, which I feel like is such a fun part of it that I almost don't want to wait.
No, and so that's the thing. And so I think you've seen some of the playtesting up to the point, to this point. So one of the hilarious things is I was talking with Mike, and we were texting back and forth, and he had a game night with his kiddos the other day, and he was like, "Uh-oh." And he sent me a text message, and it was like the game itself had some very similarities that he was playing. He was like, "Go get the parts for the chopper to get out of the thing." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." But here's the deal. Is that I found out, and is that
you can't copyright board games.
Copyright board game mechanics.
Board game mechanics. Can't copyright them.
Here's the thing: it's like we figured we may release this, and somebody's gonna rip it off and make all kinds of money off of it. And you know what? I feel like I gotta be okay with that, and just be like,
I have to center myself and be like, if that actually happens, that would be one of the coolest things that happened in my entire life, was that I created something that somebody else took and made amazing, but I was the one who created that from the beginning. And part of that has to be like, you have to be okay with that.
That would be the dream. So the whole point here is that we're using free tools, and we got to embody the idea that, hey, anybody can take this. They go make it themselves and have some fun with this shit. And that's what we want to do.
A year and a half ago, we could not make any of this stuff ourselves. Or maybe a couple years ago. If you had no 3D printer, if we had no ChatGPT, if we had no Midjourney, there's almost no way we would create a board game that is this badass right now.
Hell yeah. And okay, so Mike, I'm going to just say, hey, you talked about you copyright words, but Magic the Gathering, I don't know, like there's some debate about that. It's like, is that really something that you can copyright?
Tapping.
Yeah, I don't know what that
yeah, what is that? What is that? Yeah. So that was something, tapping was copyrighted in Magic of the Gathering. I could see that. Like very specific terms.
So, we got capping.
You gotta watch out.
We got some capping in this one.
We got capping. Snow capping.
Snow cap those fools. That's when you turn a card to exhaust it. Oh,
right.
Nice. All right, Ryan, so last Adam and Ryan show, which is really more or less the Ryan and Kathy show,
and then basically the Ryan show at some point.
So I mean, I didn't have enough chance to watch all of it, but I feel like we're at the point that we need to start talking about the workbench. So
here's basically what we did last time.
Okay,
we know we needed, so we have action and we have events that happen during each player's turn.
Try some new angles here.
Hey, cool.
Let's see if I can figure it out. You talk while I figure this out.
So hey, that looks good. So part of it is that you would, it's on the wrong side. Anyway, part of it is, that's true. Part of it is that you would, we needed more action and event, just cards.
Sure.
We just needed more to play test and see if it was fun, right? And so Kathy and I played it a little bit, and then we thought about basically me at that point, and I sort of ChatGPT'd like, give me just tons of different options for action cards and event cards in this style of game. And of course it gave me dozens of garbage, right? But then like little pieces of it I could sort of pull out and be like, oh, that sort of goes with ours. And it's different than any of our other cards.
Yeah.
So I feel like a bunch of the cards are different. There are some where I said like, hey, we probably need 3 of these cards, right?
Okay.
Which is like event cards where an enemy comes out. We need more than one of those.
Sure.
And so I did set up like in our Google Drive for Double Drop Down, I set up like a, basically like a spreadsheet that has, here's event cards in one tab, and then here's action cards in the other tab. And then I said, are they good or not? Right? Because you want a certain amount percentage that are good, as opposed to the ones that are against you, because maybe events are mostly bad, but sometimes good, and mostly actions are mostly good and sometimes bad. And then what we also thought of, and I think this was Kathy and I, this might've just been me at this point, was that when you get those action cards, there should be some that you're allowed to hold on to, some that you have to play instantly, and some that you have to play at the next turn. And so we added that to the bottom of the spreadsheet that basically said like, hey, do you have to play this now? Can you hold it? Or because you want some kind of mix of those. And I don't know what the mix is yet, but I feel like having a whole spread game is.
So I can't find it. So you may not put it in the board, but I think what we need to do and what I need to, and first I just wanted to I'm going to point out one thing, Ryan. Thank you for adding the little curved corners on the card. That was a nice touch. Nice touch there. That is a designer.
Well, the idea was to cut them out of the my Cricut cutter. Okay. And so I set them up so that I could cut them out in the Cricut cutter and draw the thing in there, and I just didn't get around to it.
All right, so you want to go back there? I feel like it's your time to go back. So you could just unplug your headset and plug it back in there. Yeah. So Ryan's headed back, and you know what? We're going to use some new angles tonight. I feel like I got this duo camera angle that has been amazing. Wait.
We don't have any. Where are the pieces?
I don't know. Did you bring them? That's the question. Did you bring the pieces?
100%. They were in a bag somewhere. Right. Maybe out here. Right, I can grab them.
All right, you go get that. Well, you figure that out. That should be on the table right there. But what I'm gonna do is, as we get this set up, Ryan's gonna be in the back table tonight, so he's gonna be the guy that can kind of run the show from the back. Let's see if I can get him on. He's lost them. He's lost the pieces.
They were
all right, vamp about what you got right here. I'll go find the pieces. Okay. You got to be on this back side.
I'm not on camera. It's only my back and this table, which is fine. That's fine. So I'm just going to use these little pieces here.
You're on camera.
Hey,
you're on camera.
There we go. Wait. But now switch it. Okay, perfect. See, it's like I'm selling Ginsu knives. So here's our board. For those who are not familiar, we're playing sort of a flipping tile game. We're moving around. Here are the player actions. So our player actions. There it is, maybe. So 1, when a player moves, they flip a path tile. So one of these, they flip it, and they move the character along the path. They can rotate it 90 degrees once, and if you can keep going, you can keep lighting the path as if you were walking around with a flashlight. And then there's going to be an event card where you can either... I think we eliminated collect something, didn't we, Adam?
I don't know if we eliminated anything. I found all the pieces. So I'll
Yay!
These out as you go.
Okay. And then, so you pull an event card and something happens. So we have event cards, and they're things that, they add people to the bottom. Warp to any other player.
Ooh, a warp. Nice.
Yeah, well, so okay, let me just read these out to you, Adam. Here's so we used to have 4, and now we have 20.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Christmas warping, which I thought was funny because it's like wrapping. Warp to any other player, and that's an event card. So we're doing events right now. Okay, they're closing in. All enemies move twice at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So that's like an extra hard one, right? Because everyone gets to move twice. Part found. You randomly found a sleigh part. Score. So I only had one of these, and I thought that would be a good one. You can see on the board. Well, it's probably not close enough. But these ones that have yellow or white blocks.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what does that mean?
So each one of these is just so we can see it, just to play test it. It wouldn't be in the actual game.
Okay. But
anyone that's marked with an E is an enemy. And so when you flip that over, you would add an enemy to the board.
So you would know.
No. We're just for play testing. I want to know where the enemies are.
Okay.
But in real life, they would be hidden.
Got it.
And then there's also one that says P, and that is a part to the sled.
Okay.
Or actually, there's 2. 2 parts to the sled are hidden in here. And so what I was thinking that would do is that would help. That would force you. You would know that there are 2 in here. and you really want to try to uncover it.
So I mean, from a playtesting standpoint, you're able to see like, hey, what's the typical distribution of those two parts? Because I agree, I played it with my son, and he loved the game. The problem that we got into was when it started to be like, well, what's the point of just doing this?
Yeah. Well, and so that's what I think it is, right? It's collecting.
Hey, thanks. Talon's got to step out from that. He's got finals coming up this next week.
Goodness.
Hell yeah, you need to get into that. But you know what, dude? You got to play our game when it comes out. You're gonna be one of our main playtesters on this shit.
I feel like we got to have a big playtest night with like.
You know what? We're gonna stream
fans
that.
Fans of the stream.
Stream. If you can show up, playtest night. We're doing it right now. We're gonna have it somewhere. It's gonna be badass. Good luck on your finals, sir.
Good luck.
And we will see you soon. Hopefully Mike and everyone else is going to be able to stick around with us and get this all figured out tonight, because I feel like we have some really good progress every episode.
Okay, I'm just going to run through these real quick.
Okay, got it.
Christmas Magic HGH. All enemies gain back 3 hit points or max.
Ooh.
So that would be an event, right?
That's terrible. I hate that one.
Christmas Clairvoyance. Flip over any 4 tiles around you. Nice. So that's like a good one.
Hold it down just a tad bit when you do that, because then it'll focus a little better.
Okay, so then I have Christmas Chaos.
Warp player to the break room, huh?
So like, I mean, these are all terrible names. We would get better names than that. But I was thinking of just
ChatGPT to get them.
No. Okay. Basically, I was just looking at it right.
Human growth hormone was HGG.
Yeah.
HGH.
Yeah. Exactly. So this one, warp player to the break room.
Man, I'm sorry. I just love how like perfect these cards are cut around the corner. So
I did that at lunch today.
So good, right?
I printed
Put it
them
down just a
cut them.
tad bit more. Let's see here. I'm gonna get you to focus. Like right there is focus if you keep them right there.
Perfect. Warping enemies. 2 enemies switch places, and that's the player's choice. So maybe that would be like helpful for players.
So you like swap enemies.
So then you'd be like, holy crap.
Nice.
So now we could switch out Mean Santa for this weaker person where we're trying to go.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Okay, so that would be a good one. And so in the spreadsheet, I have, here's how many good ones we have. Here's how many bad ones we have.
Yeah.
Okay, so hallway blackout. The hallway connected behind you blacks out. I thought that would be cool, right?
Hell yeah, because it's like that gives you that whole creep vibe.
It's like doom 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 doom, like it's closing behind you.
Yes,
right?
I love it.
So I thought that one was good. Another Christmas Chaos. Wait, a warp player to the sick bay.
Okay.
So that would be a thing that happens.
Does sick bay have any, like, did you come up with any things that the individual corner rooms do?
No.
Like if you go to the sick bay, like maybe like it restores or regens health or something, like that could be cool.
I think what we need to do is have like, because part of this said that we were going to have people solving puzzles.
Yeah.
And the way that I think that people could solve puzzles in this is that they don't know where the parts are to the helicopter or the sleigh that we're getting out of, right? And so part of them are hidden in this thing, and you have to find them by uncovering it. But part of it could be like, you also have to do something that shows you that, oh, it's in the surgery room, right? Or it's in the break room. And then once you find that, then when you go there, then you get the puzzle piece, right? And so it's like, once you find it out, then you go there, you get the piece of the helicopter, and you bring it back to the helicopter.
Yeah.
Pad. Like that could be a simple puzzle.
Well, just a quick timeout. Michael just said a good point. It's like, what is behind you in that prior action card? Like, how do you, like, what is behind versus like if you're walking down the path, is it like because you went this direction, anything that you have to remember your last direction and that was behind you? Like, what's behind?
Oh, for this one where the hallway connected behind you blacks out?
Yes.
I was just thinking any tile that's connected to you is blacked out.
So then that wouldn't be behind. It could be like,
well, because if you think about you're walking down a hallway,
okay,
right? Like say you're walking down this hallway.
Your pawn would need a front and back. I appreciate that.
Like, so if you're walking down this hallway, everything behind you would be this, right?
So it could turn quarters, right?
Yeah. It's like anything that's connected to you gets blacked out.
So take the pawn of our little Viking guy that's up at the top there.
Oh yeah, we don't need these guys anymore.
The Viking pawn I think is like the guy that is the one that is probably our north. So like put them up a little bit to the camera so you could take a little quick peek out of it. So what Viking guy does is it has definitely a front, and then as far as the back, it has a carrying mode. And I think that's actually something we've really discussed is that when you collect a part, you can't collect multiple parts. You just you put something in your back and you have to take it to a location or do something with it.
This isn't it, right? But you would take something and you would put it back there and it would slide in. And that would be the piece that you would have. And then you would bring the piece back to here and drop it off.
So you'd always be facing a direction. And as you're walking down the path, that would help understand where the back is.
And maybe you would have to, because let's say you were in a big hole connected. Let's say all of them are basically connected.
Yeah.
How many are you flipping over the entire board at that point?
I almost feel based off what we just discussed, is that back would be anything literally straight back in a line, but not anything in the curve.
Oh, right. Or 3 tiles behind you or something, right? Or 3 tiles connected to you.
Yeah. I don't want to get too off on nuance, because I appreciate the insight of where you're headed with it. So let's continue.
Okay, so I had add a nearby enemy. One enemy gets added to the board 2 places from any player.
Okay.
So that's you're getting a close one.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 of those. So I had add a nearby enemy. And then enemies freeze in place for this turn. So that's a good one.
Hell yeah. They can't, because at every turn an enemy has to go towards a person.
Okay, lights out, and then for an area. Roll 1 die. Number is how many tiles that flip to black around the player. So that probably could be worded better. But
sure.
If you had this person here and you would have to flip 4 tiles around them.
Sure.
Okay. Lights out hallway. Roll 1 die. Number is darkened 1 row. So you would say roll the red die. You did a 3. Here's the red row.
Okay, I was wondering.
And you're blacking out each of this red row. Or you roll the black row. This will probably have to be black. And then you would do the black row.
Okay.
And so then when you do it together, you would be this is row 5 from the white row and row 8. So it's right here.
Gotcha.
So that's how I was thinking you would do it with these numbers.
No, I like the numbers there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could yeah, that's perfect.
So that's hallway. And you would darken one of those. And then add an enemy anywhere on the board. And then I did 3 of those. Add an enemy. So
yeah.
I think you would sort of dial in how many is too many enemies.
Yeah, that was actually, so to just kind of comment on that, as we were working on it with when my son and I were playing, because we had 3 action cards, we just kept getting enemies over the board. I was like, holy crap, what is the cap of enemies that you throw in there? One thing I just was going to throw out before you continue, so if you grab those enemy cards that are up in the top there, I think the enemy cards itself, and I don't know, and we were discussing this, my son and I, was is there a pawn per enemy card, or is there just a thing where you slide that card in the back of an enemy card, an enemy pawn?
The only reason that I would say I think you should have a physical piece for each one is because it's fun to 3D print all this shit together.
Hell yeah.
And so then it's fun to have the crazy little tiny polar plague bear, right?
Sure.
Or it's fun to have the Inca gingerbread man or the killer Krampus. All of those are fun little pieces that you get to get.
Hell yeah. Well, take the play cards that are to your left on that blue row. And so if you flip that around, so what that is basically your player hit points. And so we were just kind of playing with it to try to figure out you get that many player hit points and you start in the middle. As a player, you actually don't get the full hit points. You you could always gain some, or you can end you'd have a little thing that you put on top of it. And so I think and so what I guess I'm getting at is that each of those monster cards, let's say you pulled out Santa, I think that's Miss Claus, right? So, oh shit, we pulled out Claus. You would put her card off to the side on the table, and on the back it would have hit points.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't right now.
Sure.
But it would. And then the pawn would go on the page. And so what the whole point is that like you need to be able to somehow calculate how many hits she's taken throughout that journey.
See, that's the problem, because if this looks like Mrs. Claus, right, then you could put it down and then you just add the little thing over here, right, that like you put it down, and then so until Mrs. Claus runs out of lives here and then she gets killed.
Right.
Yeah.
So on the board itself, we need like a location where we can say you can have up to 4 or 5 enemies, whatever the playtest gets us to, and then that's where we track. Because that's what we were doing. We were like, how do we track that we actually killed Mrs. Claus or any of that? Okay.
No, and I think it's so that feels like right in line with what we're doing.
Perfect.
Okay, so the action cards.
Yeah.
So so these are the cards. Let's look at what happens, right? So you do an event card and something happens. So,
could we start a game and then you can start using some of those? Just
okay,
like a.
Okay. So let's do like 2 players, just because that's pretty low.
Are those corner cards, just by the side note, like are they flipped that way for a reason or not?
Corner? Oh, yeah, that's right. They were supposed to be these.
So like you're in a room. I kind of actually just side note, that might be like something you didn't think about. Like it's kind of cool that they were flipped, and I don't know why they would be cool. like is we were saying, like, what if they were like, you're not always starting in the upper right corner, like you mix them, and then that way they're always in a different location.
And it's interesting if you're like saying, oh, you always have to go to the science room, or you always have to go to the whatever room,
right?
Like if they were in different spots.
And
it was sort of random, just like these were, and at the beginning of the game you flip them over. That'd be interesting. But you always start at the whatever break room, right? Didn't we have a break room? Like that's where it all started. Was like they were there for they were there for the something. Okay, so if we were to play this, we would I'm gonna start as this guy, and what we would be trying to do is just uncover stuff to begin with, right? So what is my player action? Flip a path tile. Okay. I can't move on it because it's not towards me, so I have to rotate one.
And you get one rotate
and
per turn.
And I get one rotate per turn. So I'm going to say this way. And move there, right? And so now I get to flip this one. Okay.
Get to go back in the room.
So I made a little hallway back to the room.
So that would make you, so if you get the back of the room, you technically could go flip one of those 2 on the other side, right?
Oh, I mean, that's something to think about, because I can still move, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now I've killed myself, right? Because or not killed myself, but I've run out of path and I don't have any more turn cards.
Got it.
So now I need to do an event card.
Because that's the next thing you pull, right?
Oh God, let's not do that one.
Oh God. All right, fine. This is like a playtest without like a mediated playtest.
Okay, Christmas clairvoyance. Flip over any 4 tiles around you.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip over these 4.
Okay, wait. Just one thing my son said, and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't think about it." He's like, "How do you flip a card?" Because if you flip it top to bottom versus left to right,
I think that's just player's choice, but you have to commit to it, right? Like if you can't like flip it over and then be like, nope, now this way. You just got to flip it one way or the other.
So you can flip it any which way, and then and it could be every different card is a flipped like left, right, up or down. Okay,
right,
got it. Okay, I'm cool with that.
So I got to flip all of these over, but what happened was an enemy got added. So an enemy got uncovered right next to our room.
Okay.
So I have to flip over an enemy card.
Krampus.
It's Killer Krampus. Oh man, Killer Krampus is there. And we're gonna put him off to the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a note on that, because we need to add hit points and a place for cards to go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now I need to pull an action card. That's the next part.
Yeah, Killer Krampus should have have a rapper vibe. I got it.
Nice.
Yo, I'm Killer Krampus coming in the Christmas spirit.
Oh God.
Okay, that's terrible. Sorry.
You're gonna get us taken down off of Twitch. It's gonna all these DMCA's. Okay, so I got revive player. If an enemy kills a player, use this card to revive them with half health, and I get to hold it.
Okay.
So part of this that we did, and we can even talk through some of these actions. Is like here. We have some that say, this is perfect. Some that say hold, some that say use next turn, and some that say use immediately.
I like that dimension to it.
So I got one on my turn that just says hold, so I'm holding on to that. So that's awesome because I could revive someone.
Sure.
You know, so I'm sort of like holding on to that. But let's go through some of these other action cards so you can see them. Because now you know basically how that's working. Running scared, you must flee on the next turn instead of fight or action.
And you have to use that if you get into a battle.
Use next turn.
But what if you like don't have a battle?
No. It's so
Okay.
basically here's what happens on your third, right? On your third part of your turn.
Yeah.
You're pulling an action card, and then you're either fighting, you're fleeing, or you're using an action card, right?
Yeah.
And if the action card that I got last time was use next turn, I have to use this one, the running scared one.
Okay.
And it means I have to flee back down the hall that I came from.
So it's a good point. Michael's saying like you hold used at any point or only on your next turn. Like when you hold something, like how long can you hold something?
I would think whenever you want to use it, right? Because revive player, that would be like, hey, unless I have something where I have to use it on my next turn.
Got it. And I think these are the points when we play test we're going to start figuring out.
Okay, so then I have broken glass, lose 2 health for cutting yourself on an ornament, and you have to use it immediately.
Got it.
So if you pulled that out of the thing, you would just have to be like, damn it,
Like,
and then I take
right,
2 out.
I'm done.
Like, and that's
Gotcha.
it. Okay, break your ankle, which is miss a turn. You have to use that on your next turn.
So you kind of hold it. And you're just like, damn
And
it.
you're just like, and then next time when it's your turn, you're like, I got this for my next turn, so I'm missing my turn.
I'm out.
And then it moves.
Yeesh.
Okay.
It's going to be rough.
Christmas sight. Look at any tile and then return it to the dark side, and you have to use it immediately.
Oh, sweet. So you could be like any tile.
You're like, I think this is the one with the part, right?
it,
Or
got
like,
it.
should I care about coming over here? I'm gonna look at this one and see. Okay, it's just a thing.
Got it. How many of those are on there? One?
Just of this one?
Yeah.
It's just one for right now, but we can make it multiple.
Man, okay, like let's just do that because I think like that's almost like you don't want to have just one of that.
Sure.
Like those ones would be you'd want a couple.
Yeah. Well, and then I think it's a balance, right?
What
of
was
like
that called?
Good things and bad things. Christmas sight.
Christmas sight.
You can find that. Dang, I wish you should let me log into my Google Drive or something to
I don't
get
understand why you didn't put it in the sweet
I did.
group drive.
I seriously.
What was it called?
I feel
Do
like.
you remember what it was called? Like
I mean, I could look it up on my phone.
the name of the file.
I mean,
Twitch assets.
like cards, something event. You could look up event.
Did you put
and
it
action
in the Adam and Ryan show?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Just in the Google Drive, just like at probably top level, like a terrible organizer of files. Okay. So then I have pick your foe, look at the top 2 enemy cards, and pick one to add to the bottom of the deck. So you're basically, that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be like, dang, a really hard guy is coming up. I'm going to put him at the bottom of the deck. That might have come from the chat, actually. Okay. Scared Stiff, which is use next turn. No rotation on next turn. So that's a bad one.
I hate that.
Found a health pack. +3 health, and you can hold on to it.
I
Right?
love that. I love the fact that you can hold on to it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you can hold on to it. Mobility boost, add an extra 90 degree turn to your turn, basically. And then you can hold that. Adrenaline boost, 3 hit points to the next attack, and must play before the roll.
Ooh.
So
Hey,
so
that
if you were fighting a bad guy, right, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, I need one more right before the roll, you're like, I'm adding +3 to it. I've been holding this. I gotta win this fight.
No, I love it. Question: did you talk about how many cards you can hold at once?
I don't know. I feel like that would probably come out in the
Okay.
playtest, maybe.
Do you want to just make an arbitrary number to start with?
I would rather have it just be no, like you can have infinity as
Okay.
number of them.
Because
But
I'm thinking like the one player that's gonna like pull all of them in, and then nobody has the other holds.
oh, that's true.
Like let's just say you could do 3 or 5.
Well, and a lot of these are sort of use it on your next turn. So
Okay.
like you couldn't even use one of your holding cards because
Got
you're
it.
like, "Bull, I got to use this one on my next turn."
Okay.
So it's like in some ways you can't play them as much in this version.
Got it.
Okay, so turn around, 180-degree rotation on your next turn. So to me that felt like, let's say I was here
Okay.
and like I'm going forward. I don't know if that just means I get to use 2 90-degree spots on my turn. That's almost the same as just like, I feel like this one is ill-defined.
Fair.
Like, what does, instead of turning my tile 190 degrees, I'm turning it 180 degrees.
Like I do feel like if you say 180, it literally has to be 180.
Yeah,
Like it's a 180.
yeah. So this would be a bad card, right?
It could be bad or good. It's actually like one of those neutral cards. Like if you need a 180 of something, you're like, oh man, I have to have 2 turns on this. Like because even right now,
So I wonder, do you think it could be a hold? Like you would hold on to this until you need to be able to turn a full 180, and then you'd be like, boom.
let's keep it as that because it gives it enough neutrality that like it could
Okay.
be good or bad for you.
Yeah. Okay, I have switch gear, trade an action card with another player, and it's a hold. And I thought that one could be cool because you'd be like, oh man, I'm over here and I'm about to fight this one guy.
Ooh,
Can you
yeah.
trade this like shitty hold card that I have for your like +3 armor hold or whatever?
Well, and because technically we're together, this is a group
yeah,
game.
so
that
you'd
would
want to be
helpful.
trading with people at some point, right?
The white elving exchange.
you're like, what do you have? I'm just giving you an upside down
like
card.
I like that idea of where you
They have to choose.
No, they don't choose. Like you, like they have their holds, and you have to like pick the hold.
Right.
That would be sweet.
Cool, I like that one.
It like makes it more like risky.
Okay, so I have stolen gear. Pick a card you're holding and return to the bottom of the deck, and you have to use it immediately. So that's like you could pick a bad one that you had though,
Yeah.
right? So maybe that's the case.
Okay.
Throw it to me. You must give another player your sleigh part if you have one, and you could hold on to this one.
Ooh.
And what I was thinking is like, let's say you were here and I had this sleigh part.
Yeah.
And I was way the hell over here. And then I could be like, I'm going to play this and throw it to Adam, who's already back at the base.
Nice. I like that. Okay, I'm super stoked to talk about end game scenarios.
We
here,
only
'cause-
have 4 more. We
No,
only
you're
have 4
good
more.
because you're getting to the point where we can get into this. All right,
Okay,
this is great.
so last few. I love the challenge. For as many enemies on the board, give yourself that many hit points back.
Oh, nice.
So you're like buffing up because of how many people. It's like an adrenaline
These
rush.
are great. I love seeing how many you've created. This is awesome.
They're back. Place the most recently killed enemy back on the board with half their health.
Okay. I love that you said half their health. I was like, what the? Oh, like, good job.
Right? Like, because, yeah. And then you have to use that one immediately.
It's like a resurrection. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Rotate enemy. Rotate the floor under any enemy. And that's a hold. So you could hold that and then be like,
Yeah.
right at the end of, like, I'm going to play this card because I need to rotate his ass away from me to keep me from getting killed.
Got it.
And then finally, throw it to me. You must give another player your sleigh part. Okay.
So we had two of them.
those.
No, that's good. I like the idea. There's a couple.
Yeah.
Great job. I
Yeah.
gotta just throw you some credit because, like, up to this point, we had just the idea and concept. We wanted action cards. This adds dimension to the game. And I will be 100% when we kept playing the action cards over and over, like it got to the point where like, oh, we need more.
Yeah.
And I
We'll
think
see. And this will help, like, at least we can play test it, and maybe we need more than this, but at least I think this will help.
So let me ask you this. We're to the point where we actually have a pretty damn functional game. So we got action cards, we got what you do during those actions, we have general gist of like pulling together some of the parts to get away.
Yep.
We've play tested it online and offline a little bit up to this point. So we're like, I think we're to the point where, and correct me if you're wrong, like maybe we need to do some end game perspectives.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we need to schedule some time where we could actually pull some people together and do some of the pieces.
The actual play testing?
The actual. So Mike's giving you a hell of a nice job, right? He does a great job on those cards. I think he Michael is I would say an expert in games. He should. Hey. So he sends me a link one time. Oh, here's some of the games that I got. It's like amazingly like crazy connection of it, and I've seen his amazing like. His area has like a whole wall of board games and a table specifically for it. So,
oh man, sweet.
Like we have an expert in the chat here that's helping.
That's
us,
good.
Like,
we
navigate this. But what I guess that I'm proposing is that what we do next is we do need to get like 4 people together.
Well, and so this is what I wanted to ask you, Adam, is like. That's what I think you would do when you're creating like because you wouldn't do any sort of final art or you wouldn't figure out any of that stuff until you were like, this is how it actually plays with just as like little garbage pieces of paper, right? And then you would say, once we have it down and this is fun, then you would be like, now we can make the art.
Yeah.
But what I do think is I think we can do that sort of simultaneously.
Sure.
Because I think that like we know we want to have characters like this, right? We know we want to have tiles like this. Like I think it'll be sort of fine tuning this while we play test it. But then, you know, because I do want to get into the point of like, you have this amazing 3D printer right here. And like, we should be printing out all of these characters and getting all of the art that we want to do, like set up in the way that we can.
Yeah.
And then play testing it in between that. Like I could, like you were saying, playing it with your son, right? I could totally see playing it at my house and just being like, hey, we played through it and here's the notes that we had.
So then what I'm writing some takeaways here is that what I'm hearing to say is that we're going to still continue with the design. That's a piece. We need to do play testing though. Play testing.
Yeah.
We're at the point where like legitimate play testing is in play.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to propose is that we need some people. We got some chat folks in here. Yeah. So we got some Michael. We got to get your help, man. Just like even testing it out, even if we get to do it with you or however that's going to work.
Well, I was even thinking like, obviously we can't just have this one board. Right. Like that's what we have right now. And it like went up to my house and then it went back down to your house. I feel like we need at least one more version of this like shitty little version of it. Right. So I bought a bunch of these tiles. So I feel like I can get at least one more. Right. And at least there would then be one at my house and one at your house for play testing. And I feel like what you need to do if you're putting down to-do list items is I feel like we need a couple of these just very simple use case versions of like our characters so that a character looks different than a bad guy. Right.
Okay.
Like, and they don't need to look like super crazy or anything. They could literally have numbers on the top of them or something. Right. And then you know, those could be our playtest versions of this. And I don't know, like, do they need this coin hook in the back? Like whatever it is.
Right.
Like our player characters need one of those coin hooks in the back.
So I was thinking about that, and I appreciate the question because I think we need to figure out, and this is one thing we have not figured out. We got parts, and those corks right there are technically the enemies, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so what we need is we need a player that can move parts. We need an enemy that is very specific, like an enemy that you know where at, and it's fun.
Like,
Yeah.
and then that we'll get to that at some point, but for right now, I guess it could just be whatever.
So players
Enemies don't need to carry coins, do they? They just attack.
They just attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, players to carry things. We need the parts. We need the parts.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the suggestions, I think it might have even been Mike, in the chat was like, when the Christmas magic exploded, did it go from it being a helicopter to a sleigh? And that's what we're trying to get the
Ooh, I like
parts from. I feel like that was kind of, I kind of dug that.
Hell yeah,
suggestion.
I'm good. I'm helicopter to sleigh. Yeah, I'm good.
So that I feel like that could be part of the lore, right? And so you're collecting parts of the sleigh, and so we need parts of a sleigh.
Yeah, but okay, I got it. So I got players to carry things. We need parts of sleigh to sleigh,
and it has to fit together into a awesome Christmas, cool, chibi Santa sleigh. So there's like a little fat sack on the back, and then one part is the rails, and one part's the like cabin.
And then all the people could fit into it.
Yeah,
in some way. That would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
What did Mike said? Like to look up Tiny Epic Quest, ITE Meeples. Yeah, Meeple. That is the word for like little things that you print out. So I think what we should do right now is we should probably start to think about some of those parts. We were talking about trying to 3D print something or get something going for the day. What else do we need to do? One thing I did want to ask you a question on is we got the 2 dice, right?
Yes.
They're 8-sided. Is that what we're
8-sided because we have an 8x8 board.
Okay. So that I feel like we nailed that in because we were starting with 12-sided dice before.
Too many
times.
Yeah.
And then so just to make sure, like the delta between like the red is bad, the white at this point is technically good.
I think that's what we were sort of saying it because when you fight an enemy, this would be the bad one and this would be the good one.
Right. So the delta between it. So like if like just do a roll right now. What is that?
So like this was 5 enemy, 3 good guys. So we would have lost 2 hit points.
Okay.
And and that's who you would like move it then on your card.
Right.
Go
you down 2.
You would go like 2.
So I think that's the other part is we just need to be able to like and I'm not necessarily stuck on that it's just like a little part that goes on there. There's got to be a better way to like tally scores or something a little bit.
Oh,
like
right.
like we're close.
That's where I feel like we need the the conscious of the board game community, right? To be like people keep score, their hit points in things. How do people do that? Like, what is the normal way to
I'm not gonna lie.
tally hit points?
I borrowed that idea from another game I played.
And then so how did they do it?
Just like that.
All you did is you had a little marker and you just moved it. Okay,
and that's how they.
Then maybe that's just like a legitimate way to do it.
Well, the only thing they did that was different and it was actually really innovative. It was how they kept score, and so you had a card. And then once you bait it through all the way through the board, if you flipped it, it gave you oh, you reached 100 points. So now you got the 100 points, and now everything you add is more. And so however they balanced the game, you knew that you wouldn't ever get more than 200 points, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think like it's good because you could have okay. I think we got to the point where we're really close. I don't want to get too caught up on it because let's just use what we got right now.
Yeah.
Let's play test it. Because here's the thing. You can get super theoretical and be like, what if we did this and this and this? But if you don't play test it, you're never going to know.
Okay. Well, we were going to talk about in-game, weren't we?
Hell yeah.
Like, so let's say, do you want to just come up with some like in-game scenarios? Like what is the overall arc of getting it? They have to get how many pieces? So we're saying the whole point of this is to get pieces of the sleigh and bring them somewhere, right?
Yes.
And how many pieces do they need, do you think? 3?
I was thinking 4 to 5.
4 to 5 pieces.
Because you want to at least be as many players as the game could take.
I was wondering, could it change based on how many people were playing?
I do agree with that. Like you could group pieces if you were in a 2-player game versus a 4-player game.
And if we're so,
you know what though? Here, I'm just gonna throw this out, and I'm sorry to cut you off with this, but like, I think we need to just take it myoptically through like either a 4 or 2 player game. Like
Sure.
start there,
Yeah.
like tune that up, and then
Yeah.
we can tweak to whatever other perspective.
Totally. Well, and I feel like, what it just looks like is, is there more or less cards that you have? Is there more or less enemies that are allowed on the board? Because is there more or less parts that you need to collect?
So what's the sweet spot? Is it 4 or 2?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right. Exactly. So we don't know. We don't know at this point. But then, so you need to, and the way that you find those parts is you either uncover them on the board, right? Which would be these 2. So I flip this one over. Holy crap, I got a part. Like, I would use my 1 turn to get it. Bam, I'm on the tile that says part, and so I get...
You got to be the other. Yeah, there you go.
I'm this guy, and I...
Random piece.
Like, I now have the part.
Yeah.
Right? So now my little guy, he has the part on him, and I'm trying to run back... and I need to drop this off at the helipad, basically.
Yeah, the
slayapad.
I think that's the cool part of the game is that, and I'm gonna throw this out. We talked about at the beginning because you were like, oh yeah, they were all flipped over. Is that sleigh pad could be in any one of those corners.
Right, exactly. It doesn't. Your starting point and your ending point are random.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there as a thought, and then you tell me what you think. So we have 4 corners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should you have like 1 tile in there that takes you to the helipad that's not one of the 4 colors?
Well, I was wondering about like even an action card that you could hold.
Yeah.
That's like warp you to the helipad, right? And to be honest, I feel like all of those things come in when you fine tune it. Right?
Okay.
Because it's either going to be too easy or too hard. Okay. And what you're trying to do is be like, make it so it's just hard enough that you feel like you just make it every time.
Right.
Like that's the whole point.
So let's stick with simplicity here because this is like I've noticed in our streams we could be like, what if?
Totally.
What if like we have it
well,
really
but I feel like
tuned in.
We're going we've gone broad, right? And now we need to focus it back in.
Narrow.
Right? Like we need to narrow it as we go. And I feel like we're doing that.
Yes.
So let's say we get this part.
Got it.
Right? And then it's hard to say in there. This is the helipad.
Okay.
So now like I'm really just trying to avoid monsters and flipping things over
and getting
like,
to the helipad.
Okay, like I want to move that way, and so I get to move this 90 degrees. Oh, it only goes that way.
You have the 180 card, remember?
But I have the 180 card, and now that's awesome, so I can do it this way. And so now I get to move here and flip that one over. Oh, nice. I get to move here.
And since you used the 180, you only use the 180 card, so now you can still have your 90 flip.
So I still have my 90 flip. Oh, wait.
Other way.
Yeah, this way.
Yeah.
And these would all be held into place with like little ridges.
Indentions, so it's not so...
Right, and then this one. Oh, nice! And so I'm here. So in that one move, I made it all the way back, and now I'm like depositing this. Okay, so here's the thing. If it's a tie, like what I would want is for you to bringing back pieces that click together and make an amazing, cool little sculpture.
Yes,
like that's what I want in the end. Is a super cool, amazing, awesome illustrated sort of 3D printed sled.
Okay,
and the problem with that is like each one of those pieces is going to be different sized and different widths and all kinds of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not going to fit into a nice little coin piece that fits into the back of this. So then what exactly am I collecting, or what am I putting back here? Is it that every piece has a slot that fits down into it? Like maybe it's not a ring like this that keeps a coin in the back. Maybe it's a hole that has like a piece within a stick in it or something.
It's just like it just holds it like a little case, like or like a an area you just drop something in and you could just pull it across.
But then I want it to like fit in there nice though. Like there's a difference between just having like a bowl in the back that a piece sits in and flops around in, and you like move it, and every time you have to hold both of it, you have to hold the piece and the thing. I feel like that is important. Like, I don't know what that is right now, but we got to find a solution.
I think once we would design the sleigh in a way that would work out.
It would fit into every piece in the same way. I could see that. Okay, so now you've gotten this here. So we've gotten one, and now we just need to find the rest and bring them back here. Is that basically?
I think we're trying to get all those pieces. So apparently in Forbidden Desert, you literally build an airship with different parts. So there's games that do similar things.
Well, and I was wondering if like, what if I just had a piece and it said, the things that I'm collecting are not parts, they're repair kits. And then I'm bringing this back to here and saying, awesome, now I can repair the sled bottoms, ski parts.
I see what you're saying.
And then you would just take the ski parts that were over here and put them right here and be like, bam, we got that first one. And then you'd be like, cool, I used that repair kit on the skis.
Honestly, like in my 2 cents is like building, like taking the parts sounds so sweeter than like repairing something.
Totally. It is. Like being able to move the pieces along with you along the path and then getting there, I feel like that's way better.
So when we re-release it in the special edition and we go Destiny style, then we'll like every part will have a health bar for it, and you'll have to not only like take it there but then repair it.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. It'll be 18 pieces by 18 pieces. Okay. So the only other part, so that would be the same thing. You would basically be trying to do that while avoiding monsters and getting killed.
Okay.
Right? What is the end game for you getting killed enough that you all as a group, what is the end you lose as a group end game, do you think? So we sort of figured out what it takes to win. What does it take to lose?
That was actually one of my thoughts, is that can you die and regen?
I think so.
Okay.
Because you don't want to have a player who can't.
So I agree with that.
Is just out of the game.
Is there a certain amount of times that, like, let's say you die twice, you're done?
I don't think so. I hate games where I'm just eliminated from the game and I just have to walk away from the game.
What's the consequence then?
So I think it's death back to the start or back to the medical bay where you got re-gooed out of magic goo and now you're back alive, right? Like you have to magic, whatever. Magic goo bay. And you have half health. And that's it. Or you miss a turn.
I was thinking, like, I agree with that, but maybe you, like, it's like dying has to have a better consequence, because if you just regen, it'd be like sometimes that might be strategic.
But I think if you lose a turn,
but what if it was like
screws you?
What if it was that one of your slate pieces takes damage, or what if your slate pieces
I feel like
away?
Yeah, I mean that's true. No, I think so. I think if you die, your slate piece has to be gone too.
What if it was just? Oh yeah, I like that. So let's say you take a slate piece, you
and you put it back on the part tile where it came from.
So if you die with a piece, that's where it goes back.
Yeah.
But if once you get to the piece to the safe room, you're safe.
You're safe.
It's done.
Totally.
It's
locked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got that.
That's the whole. Yeah.
But I think you got it. Yeah. Like I like the idea that you lose a turn, like you regen and you have to wait a whole turn.
Yeah.
Before you can come back.
But then, I mean, you could just keep doing that for forever, and the game lasts 2 hours until you finally brute force your way into it. So it either has to have a time limit where you go, after 15 minutes, there's a timer or something. I don't know. Like, how do other games deal with that don't have... Like, what are the lose states of other cooperative board games? We might have to ask ChatGPT that.
I don't know, but I just wanted to just quickly, because we got some insights from the chat here on looking at some
I can't really read the chat in the tiny monitor.
It's a little rough. I agree. Wait, hold on a second. I want to see if I can figure this out. Oh, yeah, sweet. So These are play pieces from a thing called Forbidden Desert. Check out that sweet little like.
I can't see it really. I gotta come back over.
All right, you get your eyes are not the best here. Let me open this in a tab. Like
the screen is this big, Adam. Don't be telling me about
it's
it.
amazing. We can't see things. I can't see shit either. I'm not trying to get on you here, but like I think that's a part that you create. Fear is the mind killer. So I think they build a little ship. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, so maybe like the main hull of the so like the main hull of the sleigh is over here, you know, on the thing, and then you're bringing pieces of it to fill it out, and some of that is like the bag, and some of that is the rails, and some of that is the Yeah, and you could design them in a way that like they all had some sort of shape at one side of them that fit into something, but then also fit together. Ooh, that'd be tough, but you could do it.
I like it. I like the idea here. Because look at like you come back over here for a second. Check this out. Like I like the idea that you put your little characters in it. Once you create it, then they're there.
We have a pirate. Getting tangled up. We have a pirate game. I can't remember what the pirate game is called, but it has the same thing where it's a whole pirate ship, and then you're like adding men to it and adding sails to it and adding little cannons to it, and that makes you more powerful or less powerful.
You know, and I don't even know if this is actually the game that Michael was talking about here, but I mean, it gives some insight. So one thing he did say was like, is someone dying could be like the end game condition.
Oh, like if you die 3 times or something, if any person in your crew dies 3 times, you only get 3 deaths between you, and then that's it.
I mean, I like the idea that you limit the deaths so it doesn't get abused. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I feel like you have X amount of times that you die in total for the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I like that idea. And then you would just fine tune that, right?
Yeah.
Like you would be like, what's the fun thing? Usually people are at 2 deaths, so you change it to 2 deaths, right? Or 1 death
per playthrough. Okay. So we'll figure that out. Like maybe, 5 or something, or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just have to, whatever would be fun.
Yeah, it's that balance right there.
Yep.
Okay, so end game scenario. I wanted to kind of get into this. Is that if someone dies once, it's over? Is what Michael was saying. Like,
yeah, well, and I mean, I think I think if it's too easy to dodge enemies, then you could be like, hey, you die once and that's it, right? Like you got to be able to escape and you got to be able to get away from stuff.
Because it could actually like evoke some teamwork,
right?
I was thinking like, as your guy is dying. And you build the trade system. You'd be like, oh, I really need those 3 XP points. Like, can you trade me with this? All right, we're gonna get you there. Or go find like that. Let's go fight that boss together. Like, I think in my like in the current state right now, I feel like having a couple because with the lore, the idea that you regen seems kind of cool.
Right, because it's like. It's fucked up Christmas magic, right?
Yeah. So I think like having a certain state. So I'm imagining that on the board, there's a thing that says like team deaths. And you have that at the top and you can only hit off of X amount of those team deaths.
Or like it's like written on the card.
Right.
Right. Somewhere.
And so there's motivation not to just die all the time.
Yeah.
But dying once or twice isn't going to be completely end game. But once you get to like, oh shit, I'm about to die number 2.
Right.
Oh, that's building that tension. And we have like 4 parts. Oh, we're so close.
Totally.
Like,
and that's what you want, right?
Flee.
Is and what I feel like is good about the game that we have is what I'm hoping is there's enough things to dial it back a little bit this way, and then take this one and dial it forward a little bit that way, and then this part and dial a little bit that way, that you can like hone each piece. So then you're like, okay, now it's actually fun with all of those sections honed. Like
Hell
that.
yeah.
So that's cool. What do you think is the next? Because what time is it? I don't know what time it is. It's only 10:15.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. What do you think? So did we figure out what the end game is? Like, are all of those?
So,
I mean,
I think we're homed in. So end game
Yeah.
is you have to collect all the parts and build the sleigh.
Yeah.
That's definitely a part of it. So like what the whole point of the game is collecting parts. So for like it's almost like standard play is reveal the board.
Right. Because the most parts are on the board.
And then once you reveal the board, now it's like a rush to get everything in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And like corral enemies. And that's what I feel like we haven't talked about at all this game, but like we sort of mostly talked about it last time we were together.
Yeah.
Is just how many is too many enemies that you would have on the board, right? When does it become impossible to even move around the board because there's too many enemies and you can't make it to any section of the board, right? That's where I feel like we need to just play it a couple times.
Well, and so like Mike had put in the chat, like maintaining your health while working the central goal of returning pieces of the slate is the challenge.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to agree with that, and what I'm going to say is that like, and I played this with games before, is you have two versions of it. You almost have like the casual play version and then like the challenge version. And so like, I think if we tune this in just enough to say, okay, this is really the fun to play here, and adding like 3 lives is great.
Yeah.
But if you want to go legendary mode,
right.
like you have 0 lives now.
Yeah, totally.
And that's where the challenge comes in.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes it a multiple kind of player style game where you could do some stuff.
Yeah, I think if you have 4 people, you get 2 lives or something. And if you only have 2, you only get 1. You know, like I definitely think that you could tune it in to where you would say, if you're only playing with 2 people, here's the most fun rule set, right? It's a maximum of 4 monsters and it's 2 lives.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that I like the maximum of the monster side, because that was another piece that we were trying to say is like, monsters just keep coming on the board. Like we had like 9 to 10 monsters at this point. Yeah. I like the idea that it's always random, because like you could get the really like, shit, we got 2 of the highest freaking monsters in this.
It's going to be tough,
like,
right?
rough.
It's going to be super tough to get out of this.
Right.
Yeah. I love that idea. So I feel like that's good enough to sort of play test. That feels like a good enough
to play
like,
test
kinda...
mode right now.
So then I say we abandon this right now.
Yes.
And we go and we look at like maybe some like maybe 3D print, like try to get some models ready or something. I feel like we could do some like fun 3D printing type, not maybe 3D printing actually something right now,
right?
But maybe just playing with that or playing with images or something.
I think we're to the point. We got like, you know, maybe 30-40 minutes if we want to start like going on that. Thank you, Ryan, for getting those cards. I think that took us to the next level. So what we probably need to do is figure out a way that we could replicate the game in the parts and pieces. Because like, look at this. Honestly, without the human intervention. So board games. Get into board games, because you're never going to be able to have AI build your board games.
Oh, God, never. That was the last words they ever said before the AI took over board games.
Super inspired by board games to get to this point, but if we did not have human intervention, we would not have got to this point. I got to say that much. So,
that's true.
So let's do this, Ryan. Yeah, come on back over to this side of the room, and we're gonna start jumping in there. Ooh, I even have the Adam and Ryan show like title card on here. Yeah. Look at this shit. Watch this. Boom. All right. Thank you for doing that. I think that was like that was what we needed to move us forward as far as the game's concerned. So,
and I think we couldn't have done it. I don't think we could have gotten to what the end game needed to look like without like more fleshed out like what that middle section felt like.
And I think like because we did play test it just enough.
Yeah.
That we started to see it. So the key word of the night is meeple, by the way.
Meeples. What is that?
Yeah, I mean it's a thing. Like meeple is it's like a play piece for a game. So let's go take a look at the meeple board.
Great. Oh man, this is wonderful.
Yeah, so meeples are like a thing. And so what I think what we could do is we could kind of like maybe look at, oh Jesus, since meeple has a freaking thing.
A dick meeple.
Cock meeple. Hey. We got some pig meeples in here.
Don't get me started on pig meeples.
Okay, this is best match. Let's see here. Ratings.
So are there enough of these that you could write in something like polar bear meeple and anything would come up?
Maybe
not.
I don't know if it would get to that. Yeah.
Hashtag Dick Meeple.
Yeah, Dick Meeple.
Man, that's just a good,
God
just a
damn
good
it.
word.
I'm just gonna click on
Good
it. This is
set of
NFS. We're
words.
gonna like it has a little like it didn't even print
It's
right.
not
Oh
good.
jeez.
It's
All right, all right,
it's
all
not,
right. NS. We don't want to get kicked off
Yeah,
Twitch
what the
here. What
heck?
am I clicking on that for? Oh my lord. All right, let's look at this Meeple set.
Okay.
All right. Oh, there's our sleigh.
Hey.
No.
Perfect.
So I think one of the things we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get into it. We're gonna have to design some of our
Well,
crap
So, alternatively,
with AI.
there is I have found some sites that will take 2D images and make 3D models from them.
You had mentioned this before.
I had mentioned this.
Hold on a second. We're gonna go to the old school Thingiverse.
Yeah,
just
we
to
don't
see.
need that now. Like that would be for like final stuff. And I watched it and it was pretty good. It costs money. So not that much, especially if you only do like 5 or 6. They're like your first, 5 or 6 are only $5 each or whatever. But anyway, that could be one.
Could be a thing. Like I think that
Because then I thought like, let's say we could go into Midjourney or whatever and be like, I need a polar bear, but I need it like, it can't be a super dramatic pulled in version. Like we need the entire bear, like as if
all
it
right,
was a toy.
I'm just gonna throw something out here, Ryan. What about these meeples? This is a quiz to you. What about these meeples is unique that you see that you're like, I could freaking do this?
Right. It's a flat 2D vector image.
Hell yeah.
That's extruded.
You knew it. That was exactly what I was going for. I love that you saw it. Like, why do we have to go like
Do all that shit?
We're trying to make
right?
it simple. Like if you 3D print one of these, it's easy.
Yeah.
You just freaking have an extrude. Like we could put some little like nice edges on it and stuff. Like
I was
how
also
sick would that be? That's so good.
I was also thinking that we don't want the 3D print that people have to do to be like overly complicated
No.
because we want just somebody who has, just a normal 3D printer to be able to be like, okay, I can print all these things.
Like a janky ass one. Yeah. Like we want that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So maybe we just come up with 3, like how, well, okay.
We do the vector pull. Like look at this one. Meeple mech. Like this is a perfect example where you shove a meeple into a meeple.
Oh, right.
Like
yeah.
that's kind of oh man, that just gave me a whole nother thing. Wait, ITE meeple. Okay, why
Item meeple?
ITE meeple. We're gonna try it.
Item meeple.
Is it item?
Yeah, sure. I assume it's meeples that have items. They
All right, we're just
collect
trying
items.
what an ITE
Images?
meeple will look like.
No. You might just search, I guess.
Freaking Google. We need to get a chat GPT.
I know, right? We were just talking about this.
All right, let's see here. Do I need to put like some parameters on this? Or as I would have said in a past life, perimeters?
Perimeters? Trained yourself not to say that?
Wait, you said search? Search instead.
Yeah, just do instead of images.
Huh?
Instead of images, just do
All.
a web search, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's watch a video.
Oh god. We're just taking videos from the chat.
Hell yeah. I want to see it. Like meeples is a thing, dude.
This is a thing.
Like I swear to God, it's a thing.
So would ours would be flat like that,
Yeah.
but then have the like carrying case on the
Yeah, I
back
think
of
that's
it, right?
actually like if we're gonna get the zeitgeist of board games, why would we not do sick ass
Yeah.
like meeples? Like
Right.
that's sick.
Okay.
I love it.
So then we need a clever thing for our meeples,
Yeah.
right? Like
We're going meeple style. We're
Okay.
We're going into it.
so I like that because then we don't have to because we can do our own vector
Hell yeah.
drawings.
I like this video by the way. It's
Yeah.
pretty sick. Yeah, Tiny Epic Zombie meeple video.
That's fun.
Well, it's like like it gives you examples. Look at that car. Like you shove a meeple into it in the side.
Yeah.
Like you could have meeples
Or, like,
that have
guns that they
little
have,
things
right?
that you put in your hand. You were talking about the parts.
Yeah.
Like you just shove it into the hand.
Yeah. Or like in the back, right? So
Yeah.
it looks like a bat. So it looks like it's, but then, so I think that would be the clever thing, right? It's like each piece that we're collecting of the sleigh needs to look like, or fit onto the back of someone. But then also when you get them all together, fit together, then cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like, it needs to do both things so that it will just fit together, which I think you could do.
You know, I was thinking too, it's like if you had your characters just right, like they could have different parts in the sleigh that they go into to like get you out of there. Because I was thinking,
Because once your sleigh is done, you want to put be able to have 4 people inside of it.
Because you could have your 2-player game where you still have to play 2 players at once. Like I've played games before where you're like, okay,
oh, man,
with
that
4,
seems lame.
I don't know.
But don't you think you could just play it with 2-player?
I mean, you could.
And you would just
I'm not
be
saying
like,
that you couldn't.
And you would be just like, oh, it's the sleigh and the rails are over there, and now you only need to get 2 pieces of the sleigh to be able to get out, or whatever.
But it says they have items that slot into meeples.
Yeah. That's I mean, so then you would be like, oh, let's put this item inside there.
So, I'm glad I didn't put slut. I meeple slut.
This is some like Rule 34 shit right there.
Hell yeah. How to play tiny epic mechs. I just don't know what to click on. I mean, I meeple. I've definitely heard the word meeple, but I don't know what the IT part of it stands for. Like,
no, because it's like items. It's like how meeples hold. Like, how do meeples hold items?
All right, let's look at this one. I get it. Item meeples.
Yeah.
Get it. I'm good. This is Facebook. Oh, look at swords.
Yeah, because I could see that like you would fit it inside of their hand or whatever.
Hell
it just
yeah.
as a hole.
All right, I feel like this is like a write down. Like we just need to like embrace meeple.
Yeah.
Meeple.
See, look, because it's under their arms.
Yes.
Like how they had it.
I love it.
So then you like slide it into
like
their
just
arms.
has the whole video like because if we could get super crazy and have all these like we're not trying to be nuts like that.
Well,
like,
and I feel
awesome.
like we'll do crazy artwork on the cards.
I want to see this one because I saw the wings on it. It looked cool.
Oh yeah, the wings on
Man.
the back.
Oh shit! You just gave me an idea. Mike, thank you for this. Like, what if when you go through there, some of the cards, like when you say like you have a health pack update or something, like it's a part that you shove into them, so you know,
right.
like, oh, I got the thing.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
That like, so you're like upgrading your sick ass meeple, and you're like, oh, he's super powered right now. And then when you lose that part, obviously you just pull it out and you put it off to the side.
Because he has like a revive gun, right? Yeah. Because he has the revive shot, right? And he has the health pack, and he has the extra turn magic potion or
this
something.
is what's gonna get us to like, you know, selling shirts and stuff and making some craziness. I like it.
There was a fun Kurzagot video that was about their empire of stuff and how much the money they make on merch versus how much it actually does from YouTube and all those other sections. And you're like, merch is such a huge part of keeping studios alive.
Yeah, you need to do that. All right, so we've kind of got down to the idea that meeples are the thing.
Totally.
So the question is then, what is our next step with that? We need to make meeples that have.
So I think we need to go to the Noun project and download vector graphics of stand-in things that you could print, maybe not right now, but sometime over the next couple weeks when we put this together. And so we need it for enemies, right?
I wonder if meeple would come up. Let's see what
right.
Just curious. So tell everyone oh my god, it's already there. What is the Noun project?
The Noun project is a super cool site that has community, not donated, but community driven vector icons and stuff, like is what I would call it. And I pay the $60 a year or whatever it costs to download them without attribution. So then it goes to the artist. Any of the people that download get a percentage of that $60.
Yeah.
And then, but you can do it just normal if you give people attribution to it. And I find it great. It's like it basically all of my icon things. I would say none of them are like none of them are stroke weights or anything like that. Like it's basically, it is what you get. But it's a super awesome resource for icons. So I think if you even went in here, like, let's say put in polar bear, right? Like we need one for the polar plague bear.
Should we put meeple?
I don't even, because basically a meeple is just like an extruded thing of that.
Okay.
Try just with polar bear.
Because you could do is different colors also.
Yeah, like so like this one.
Yeah.
Right? Like I could see that being one of them.
Yeah, we extrude that. It looks totally like a polar bear.
Yeah. And
So
so you just
I think that's how you do it. It's like even though they're a monster, they just got to be a different color.
Yeah.
And then that's how you could kind of make it happen.
Well, and you would use this for the start, but I guess, I mean, wouldn't you want to make it so that it looked
Deadly.
somewhat screwed up
Scary.
or something? Yeah, scary or something. You would have to do something that would make it. But I think it would be neat to try to do that in a vector form.
Well, and this is where I feel like we could go in the Discord as well and like vector, image, outline, polar plague bear, and like see what we can get out of
totally.
the AI. Because then it goes in the spirit with the game. Is most of it's been
True.
built out with AI.
Totally.
Which we should do that. Let's see what we can even get from a Discord right now. Let's just give it a go.
I have not found vector stuff have you messed with vector inside of Geez? I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Oh my god, you need to go get a drink of water, man.
I know, right?
How many did you drink already? No?
A couple.
Go get your drink. I'm going to start putting a prompt in here. So, you know what? I'm going to actually enlist the help of also ChatGPT just for the heck of it right here. Let's see here. So let's start a new chat. We're going to use our GPT-4. So let's say write a prompt for an image AI that will produce.
I don't use ChatGPT unless it's ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
3.5? Freaking
It's nothing.
losers.
I think I told you last time on the chat how I lost. Oh, look, it's depreciating. Now it says that I lost my ability to browse in ChatGPT 3.5.
Yeah, because
So I just asked,
you're being a freaking weirdo.
how do I force my kid to eat food? Hey, he was eating the right damn foods. I want to make sure he was eating good foods, man. And all right, didn't want me to do it. So write a prompt from image AI that would produce, I would say, vector images. I gotta say vector images that we could extrude into 3D meeples.
It is not going to know shit about what you were talking about.
Create a series of vector images, creating unique and diverse characters. Oh my god, look at that. Tabletop games. Snap, dude. They're like, know it.
But like, what is it telling us? These aren't prompts, are they?
That's a prompt, man. I'm going to see. Well, we'll see. We'll see soon.
Okay.
See, ChatGPT knows how to do this.
Oh man, that's too many words anyway.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to nail it. It's got it right here. We're rolling the dice on our board game here.
All right.
Too many words have been. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Does
It won't do that. It'll just stop at a certain number of characters.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
So it might not do your 3-2.
It should take the parameters.
Oh, does it still do that?
Oh god, this is not looking good. You're
I mean,
absolutely
this is
correct.
a vector, right? It should be mostly.
Oh my god. What if it was like
Yeah,
the
I
whole
don't know.
the whole game? Here's your Christmas. You realized that you were looking at Christmas games.
Yeah, it's gonna give you like a whole bunch to choose from. Apparently,
That's great. That's great, Ryan. Why would you not want that?
I feel like
That bottom right is looking sick. Come on now. Look at this. Tell me that wasn't like perfect.
I can't even tell what's happening there.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. All right, okay. All right, here's what we got.
All right. Hey, actually, that is pretty cool.
That is freaking awesome.
That is pretty good. They're not vector really though.
I mean,
they're more like little clay guys.
But it's based off like they look vector-esque, like you could do with like a vectorized version of it, because it doesn't. It has like solid colors. They don't look super 3D. Like
yeah, but we only have one color. Like imagine these as, jeez, as we need like silhouettes more than we need anything.
All right, let's do that. We're gonna add. Okay, go back to ChatGPT.
Yeah,
because that's how we're gonna do it. So we'll say rewrite with rewrite so they are all. And how do you spell silhouettes?
Oh man, it's tough. Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, let's let other AI fix our
Totally.
inability.
Let's let this narrow AI
silhouettes
fix our
of meeples that oh shit, what else do we say? Rewrite so they are all silhouettes of meeples.
Well, so Michael, like the Adobe Firefly, that's supposedly on the timeline of like what's coming up for Adobe Illustrator is creating vector stuff like that, which I feel like would also be very cool.
Plus, I think there's already 3D generated things, so like we're just brute forcing whatever we need to try to get out of this stuff. But it's like it's legit that you could just put this in a 3D prompted object would come out. All right, it did get my AR 3.2. I think it probably like cuts off a certain point and then it finds like, okay, what are those parameters?
Yeah, I wonder.
Did I say that right? Parameters?
You did.
Good. Should have said that out loud. Now I look like an idiot.
You're like, it's worse if you have to keep reminding yourself.
I know, it's pretty bad. I feel that top left one's looking like pretty epic. Actually, I kind of want to like update one of these because these were looking cool. Honestly,
maybe
kind of like this one, but it's like that weird
it's too
isometric angle.
Yeah, it can't be that one. Maybe the bottom right.
Yeah, I was gonna agree. Bottom right. It's upscale 4. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
look at
those
this.
are looking cool.
Look at this. Why is it so mini? Did that just like do that instantly? Like it's done. What the fish?
That used to be the thing that took forever.
It was like
boom. Is that different?
That's weird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do have to add
instant
Christmas.
All right.
But that's like getting there.
That is getting there,
right?
ChatGPT for the freaking win on this. Okay. We'll ChatGPT back. So we'll say rewrite so that it also has Christmas characters,
Christmas elements,
has horror, Christmas, sci-fi characters. That's how we've always done it. We always have to say horror, sci-fi, a Christmas sci-fi.
Yeah, okay, we do.
See if that gets us there. Horror, Christmas, and sci-fi themes that can easily be extruded into 3D meeples for tabletop games. Man, we're telling you.
We're done. Humans are out of this whole creative endeavor.
Oh, God. We were saying, like, our jobs are okay.
It'll be fine. It's the other people that'll need.
So Ryan this morning, like, he's getting all these notifications or whenever I was building yesterday. And the problem was that my shitty version of what I was asking for was not coming up. And then when I got to ChatGPT's version, it like nailed it. It was like, there you go.
I even had, you'll have to see where I was telling it how crappy it was doing.
Yeah, it was doing pretty bad. So we're waiting to start. Like, out of these, does any of those look good? Like, those are kind of cool. Like, this would probably be the one that you have to update because they're very.
But you know what? Flat. Like, even just these has some interesting ideas, right? Like a flat bottom with like multiple characters, right? Like, right. Maybe that's not Meeple style, though.
It isn't really.
Okay, so maybe we don't want that.
No. Like, Meeple is this. Like, there's no, like, it is literally a thing that you can.
I can't even tell what half of those things are.
Right, we're gonna,
in the bottom left.
We're going to do that one. We're going to upscale that one. Oh, man. Here we go.
All right.
Wait, where are we at? 93% on this one. All right, we're
Did
good.
that one just do it instantly? Are variations just instant now?
Oh man, that was so good. Like this one right here, that looks like the character.
Yeah.
Man, it just the fact that it's getting like you just crop that out, vectorize the crap out of that.
Totally. Well, just take it into Illustrator,
Super.
make it into vector, right?
Hell
and then you
yeah.
could just extrude that.
Like even if we didn't do Christmas, like this looks like some creepy thing that you do.
Right?
Like it's totally.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is where it's like the brainstorming thing, right? We're like, oh, what if it did do this? And then if you vectorized it, then you could go in and mess with it and add extra parts and do things.
Dude,
and be like,
this is our Christmas one. Like this is
Yeah.
getting in there, like that top right. Like look at
Yeah.
some of those things. Those look great.
they're just like weird. I can't even tell what any of those things are. It's hard. It's silhouetting is hard for character design.
Hey, we gotta chat. What I don't know. Like I didn't even know that they had a new update. Okay? Wait, that's untrue. I did know that they were changing the some of the algorithm there, but what I mean,
this has been working very well.
Like updating the freaking upres, that was like instant.
Yeah, it just happens instantly now.
Yeah, 5.1. When did that drop? Like
it was a little bit back, wasn't it?
All right, out of these ones, which one do you feel like you'd want to lean into? So let's just do critical analysis. So if you look at the upper right one, I like this creature.
Yeah, I like
one,
that guy.
That one, like that could be a polar plague bear.
Or yeah, some kind of like what about is any of these like, because what do we have? We have zombie elves, right?
Yeah.
We need a robotic Mrs. Claus. So is that it? Do we just need to add this stuff, but then say we need a robot woman or something? Like, do we just add some of that and make it?
Look how quick that was. Jesus.
Is it an upres? Is it changing it? Because I don't think. Because normally when you upres things, it like changes it a bit, right?
Yeah, just
I
a
don't know
little
if it's
tweak.
changing
Like it is like literally. Okay, so let's just look at so they had those like 3 things up there. If you go to it, yeah, it looks pretty much exact.
Okay, so maybe that's different than what it was doing before. Because before it was having to rethink about it with just that one to do it, but now it's just giving you a high resolution version of whatever.
But these are vector too, so like
Yeah, that's true.
So I definitely this is making the game. I'm telling you right now, that is so
that
good.
weird like goat.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. Tell me that's not awesome.
Okay, so then we'd have to cut off its like sled that
Yeah,
it's
you
on.
take off that part.
Yeah.
Let's see here how quickly this one goes. Instant.
Yeah.
All right. It's like a
This
Batman.
this one is real good.
yeah, I do
For
like
like
it.
one of our, but like our people aren't gonna have giant swords, right? That's the only problem.
But-
Ours are like the everyman, aren't
But
they?
you take the guy, you just crop
Yeah,
out
yeah.
the sword,
Right.
and you kind of think about like this is still where the human element comes into it, at least
Totally.
right now for the next month until
Until
AI
I just point at that guy and go, but now without the sword.
with Microsoft Designer where you're like just
Yeah.
cut that crap out.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man, there's some good ones in this.
This robot like giving you the finger.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna shove this up your ass, boy. Come on
Come and get
over.
it. Come and get it.
Oh shit.
Look at this top right one. That is so weird. It's like a shrimp.
Yeah, he's getting a BJ from this dude. He's like,
This-
come worship me. Everyone's flipping it off. This is like 3-legged Batman. Like, fuck you. You should be sucking me off, bitch.
3-legged Batman. Oh man.
Is it 3-legged or you just have
Yeah,
big,
no, that's
big?
no, that's his cape. He's 2-legged with the
Oh,
cape.
I see. I don't understand why everyone's all pissed off flipping each other off.
It's and this guy's like, "Hey, screw you, kid," and the kid's like, "Hey, buddy, right back at you."
Yeah, that one's a little offensive there. We may have to add one of those.
We're
to
gonna
the
have
whole-
to tone it down for our game.
Yeah,
PG.
this is a PG game. Wait, did I even hit it? All right, there we go.
Is that even charging you? Because is it
I have
don't
no
think it's
idea
really-
how this thing charges me.
Yeah.
I think these ones get more to the theme of what we were going through. Very flat, no bottoms to it.
Yeah.
people with like crazy
Like,
blades.
weird this one
That one's
is.
good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good. It's a little too complex, but it's good.
Yeah, because you're right. We would have to, like we were saying, we wouldn't want it to be too complex for people to print.
I don't know where the Christmas and sci-fi come in on these, but
I could see it, like the pointiness of the hat sort of feels kind of
Oh,
elfy,
there's
right?
your elf hat.
You're
right. And then there's your machine gun that shoots
Or no,
candy
that's
cane.
Ash. It's like his chainsaw arm.
That's true. Technically, it would be on his right hand though, but you
Oh
know.
well, maybe he's facing away from you, Adam.
Oh, good point, sir. Touche. Some shitting little blocks out.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Are we?
All right, those are good.
Like it,
I like
it
that.
tells it. Like,
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So here's the deal. We gotta print one of these right now. We got what? 15-ish minutes, and we could get one of these on the
Oh
printer.
yeah, here. Wait,
What's the guy we want to do?
like, is that a polar plague bear? Or like, what's?
I think we got to do this.
Okay,
one.
yeah,
I
do
love
that
that
one.
one.
Do that one.
I love that one. So the question is, how quickly can we get this to? Like, this is cool. 'Cause
If I had Illustrator, I could
you
pretty quickly.
absolutely have Illustrator
Oh, great.
on this. So here, you vamp with what you're about to do. What do you do in life, Ryan? Right now, what's your skill set?
What's my skill set?
Hell yeah.
I mean, it is. I feel like it's changed a little bit. It's expanded beyond just design, which is nice, right?
Good.
Like I do more writing now. I do more planning and like a little bit more project management type stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like because you get higher up, right? And that's just what happens. I very much push back on doing things where I don't get to do still. Like I still do a lot of multimedia design, mostly because I'm sort of the one who can do a majority of that at my job. And so that's nice because then nobody else can do it. And so then I go, hey, I get to do those fun projects. So it's a lot of, video editing and motion graphics when I do get to do fun projects like that, and a little bit of graphic design, but not as much anymore.
So you're able to flex your skills right
Yeah.
now and see. So do you need Photoshop too, or?
No, I think we're fine.
All right. We're going to jump in. We got some Illustrator right on there. Are you going to be
Nice.
cool with... Oh, no.
Can't verify it. Adam, this is shady, cracked.
You're going to have to use a designer. Did they take it? Oh, they're having connection problems.
It's like, try again or quit Illustrator.
None of your design, all of your design. We cannot reach our servers.
Man, that hurts.
Man. I'm pretty damn sure I put in all the things. It let me get in. Let's try
You're
one
like,
more time.
we're streaming right
Like,
now. Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is behind the scenes, we're trying to log into our Adobe account,
Yes.
which
Cracked
is
that
seemingly
EXE. All
doing
that.
the thing. All right, I gotta try it one more time. And then if we can't get in there, then we're gonna have to rethink how we could do it. We could try it in that other one, but you're not gonna know what the hell. To
Oh
do.
yeah, that's gonna be hard.
So
But
what would you
it would
do
just-
here?
I mean, basically all you're doing is it's giving you a pretty crisp outline, which is all you really need in Illustrator. You would just bring in that PNG, right, or
Okay.
JPEG, whatever it gives you, crop it down to just the guy that we want to do. Probably cut off that leg part, right? So that's cropped out, and then you just vectorize that, which is pretty easy because it's going to be small. It's going to be pretty rigid between it. And so you might have to mess with it a little bit once it vectorizes it because it's not going to be crisp around the edges. And you probably want that. But then either way, you could put it, you could extrude it, I think, even in Illustrator. I don't do that very much.
Like it would do a 3D version of it?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like we're there. So what was the hell? What do we name this? Okay, so it was a
Green one, right?
There it is. All right, let's get everyone on a screen here so you can see what we're doing. So we're in Illustrator at the moment. There we go.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can take this from there because I don't know where you'd be going.
So, basically at this point, you're just trying to crop this image. And the weird thing in InDesign, you would just drag this down because you would default be making masks. But in Illustrator, you don't work with raster images very much. And so you have to click on this quick properties. You're like, okay, I'm masking that. And it didn't change anything. But now when I grab this, it masks it out.
Nice.
And so then all I want to do is just get just him.
Yeah, we don't need that bottom part.
We don't need any of this bottom part. We don't need any of that stuff. Here's our crazy goat man.
I love Goat Man. He's sweet.
He's good. I like him. Okay, so now we're collecting it. So you can see that there was that whole picture off to the side. But now we're just going to mask. We're just going to vectorize just that guy. Oh.
You don't have your shortcuts, yeah.
Well, no, like the quick actions should be to, because right now it's just release this mask. I wonder if it doesn't let. So maybe in Illustrator. So maybe I would have to have Photoshop, and I would have to crop it in Photoshop
we
and
have
do
Photoshop.
that. Well, like, or what you could do is you could just say, okay, release the mask, and then image trace, and so that's what you're trying to get to. And at this point, we might just have to do that just for
And then
ease of use,
delete
and then we'll
everything.
just delete everything else.
Close.
Now, so I mean that sucks. Like we should be able to, see in here. So this is where one of those things where if we can't get this to look right, we'll have to bring it into Photoshop and like crop
Clean
things
it up.
out and
because they put
clean
the
it
damn
up.
gradient behind it,
Yeah,
and that's why you're getting that weird.
Exactly. So we can try some of these. No,
That was a bad one.
it's like too. It's just it's not sharp enough around the edges, right? It's like not contrasty enough.
We just need to get to a point where it's like a good Oh, okay.
Okay.
You should be able to just grab that part, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's just do it at that.
Cool. I'm down.
Say ignore white, trace this.
Yeah, because then we can just delete some points or whatever.
Yeah, we'll just grab the black part out of that. All right. Smooth it out for me. Okay, then you expand it.
Make some sweet noises.
Yeah, exactly. So now we just have this guy.
You can get rid of that out of there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like oh god,
You can zoom it.
because Okay, so we don't give a crap about any of him. And then basically we're gonna remove all of this.
Oh, you're doing so good. I would have been like taking forever at this part. Love it.
Okay. And then we got to close it back up, right?
Yeah.
So we got to connect this guy and this guy.
This is what an expert
Together.
does, by the way, just to show how amazing this guy is. Hell yeah, dude.
So
You're using shortcuts here.
it's Alt J. We'll combine sections.
So
for you.
obviously you'd be like you want to flatten that sucker up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we would probably like get rulers out here and be like, what is exactly the line we want him to be on?
See, I'd be using the little like buttons to move them up and down, but you're just using because you're using
It's snap. Because you snap to it.
Got it.
And so that makes it a little easier.
So can you do a simplify to like reduce the curves?
That's what I was thinking. So now we have him, but it's like too jaggedy around everything. Like this part looks a little weird. It probably wouldn't 3D print very well, right? So then we're just going to simplify the shape.
Oh, I love that there's a slider for it.
Yeah. And so,
That's decent.
yeah, there we go.
And then gets us close.
It gets us close at least. Oh, I like that.
Hell yeah. We got our first monster, dude.
Nice. So just like,
I mean, you're technically using AI to do some of this, like to the level that
yeah.
you were doing this.
I mean, we didn't come up with this original shape at all.
Yeah.
I would just put it in downloads.
Just put it in desktop,
Oh, it does.
because then I can get to it easier. Because I have an idea. So save it out as a.
What is this guy?
Just goof. Call it a. I don't know. Goat meeple. That's fine. That was AI. Can you export it out as a what the hell is it? SVG. I need it as an SVG.
So you should always save it out for. Don't show me this again. You should always save it out as an AI first, because that gives you the most like flexibility when you're using it for your original one. But we could definitely do.
Goat meeple cracked.
We're going people.
All right.
Nice.
So what time is it? We said like 15 minutes. We're in 10 minutes on this.
Oh man, sorry.
This is great. You did great, Ryan. All right. So the next thing is we're gonna use, since Talon's not in the show, we're gonna use Tinkercad.
Like, I don't have to hear his crap.
He would be so mad. But honestly, I don't know. I guess I could extrude. I could extrude something. I'm not gonna let you see me log into my personal account here. Let's see here. Yeah, because Fusion 360 is what you would typically use, but I don't want to mess around with Fusion 360 because I feel like I could do this really, really fast right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, all we're doing is extruding one thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's perfect for Tinkercad.
All right, let's try this. Oh man, they started like
Doing
changing shit.
things.
It's all different now.
It's like it's trying to teach you how to use the software.
They're like, do this thing and do that. All right, I just want to do a 3D design. Come on, get me in the tool.
Neat crunk.
All right, so we should be able to import our meeple dude. Where is he?
Go Meeple.
Goat meeple. Perfect. Is larger than the space. Oh, we should have probably done that. Let's see here. Center on art. Let's see how big this guy's gonna get. Holy smokes!
It looks great.
He's huge. All right, we're gonna put him down a little bit. Wait, I need to keep his perspective. So this is great.
He's basically already a Meeple.
He is. The only thing is the extrusion. It didn't happen. So let's see here.
It did, right? Didn't it? I mean, he's not a 2D plane.
He's definitely not 2D, but like it needs more extrusion.
It needs more. And it would be nice if it was sort of. It would be nice if it was sort of beveled around the edges. That feels like kind of like
that's Fusion
too
360.
much, okay.
So I don't know. Like shit. Now I'm forgetting how to like extrude something. Oh wait, no, it's this. It's this. There we go.
Yeah. How big? Yeah. Okay.
So that would be about 7 millimeters. Let's see here. Let's see where 7 would be. Yeah, that would be pretty decent. We got a little thing here. So 7 is
how tall
right
is
in
he?
there. I don't know. Let's see here. 33.
That tall?
Oh, yeah,
Seems right.
He needs maybe a little bit more. Or we could just bastardize his shape a little bit.
The 40? I feel like that's too big. That's 42 tall.
Oof. You're right. Okay.
He needs to be more like 35.
How about 33, 32?
Oh, no, wait. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. What am I looking at? Up top here?
Yeah, you're going to look at the top. And so, yeah, you're right. It's going to be too big.
Much.
So you want it probably
20.
You're right. Okay. Here we go. We got our little first meeple. Let's export this little dude as an STL. Oh, okay. They call him an exquisite Borro.
Nice.
All right, we're good with that.
Hey, that.
How
Borro.
many? I love that from like ChatGPT to nearly 3D printing is like how many minutes at this point.
Right.
So this is great. So let's get into the. Now we're gonna transition into our Simplify 3D. Let's import our little dude here. We'll get that in a second. I gotta go grab that from that, and it was exquisite Boru. Oh, he's so cute. Look at him.
Cute.
It's so perfect. It's exactly what we're doing. So we're printing in PLA today. So let's just check the process settings just to make sure. So we got our infill at 20, which is perfect. We're just going to leave that. Prepare to print on PLA.
We would have to have like suggestions, right? Like when we put out the file, it'd have to have like a README file, right? That would say like, we suggest making this at 30% infill with.
You could
this
do
and
that,
this.
but here's the thing: is we could just send out this G code,
Oh.
and so you would just be like, you just printed this. You don't have any ability to change any of this
or
shit.
just we perfected it to say here's what we think is the best.
Yeah, like I probably would be okay with giving it out as like as an STL file. So we're gonna call this what was Goat Meeple. So Goat Meeple.
Go Meeple.
Go Meeple 1 times, y'all. This is so nice.
Be a good final print to go out on.
Yeah, so it's like we have. It would take 25 minutes to do this meeple, but whatever. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how this goes. So, recap the show, man. The game is straight up.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about AI stuff, which is of course interesting and fun. We tried out Microsoft's new graphic designer killer. Is what I'm calling it. I don't even remember what it was called.
Designer, right?
It was a Microsoft Designer. And then just talked about how AI is getting into business decisions of like how people are actually, hiring and firing and thinking about their workforce based on ChatGPT. Like I don't remember. I guess people had to rethink how their workforce was when Instagram came around, right? Because they'd be like, we have to have a person who does our Instagram and thinks about our Instagram. So in some ways, like, that also changed, but I feel like this is at a different level, affecting way more of those people. So that was an interesting conversation, I thought.
Hell yeah.
I do want to say, like, it would be cool to have Sam Ebersol on the show. Hopefully
he's watching
soon.
tonight.
Yeah,
No, I know,
right?
probably not.
I'm sure he's in 3 hours into our show. But yeah, it would be a cool conversation, I think, to talk with them. Even if we had to meet at a bar and record this show at a bar where other people could see us, I would still be accepted of that.
Ryan was saying it's crippling social anxiety.
I don't think it's crippling social anxiety to say I don't want to go to a bar and record this with people staring at me and watching me while I do the entire thing.
Fair enough. All right, so what we're gonna get into is we're at least gonna see this thing heat up.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get in there. Thanks for the recap on the show, Ryan. That was great.
We'll see the first touch or
first
whatever.
Layer.
Right?
Let's
yeah,
hope
I
didn't bed level this. So.
Oh man, what could happen? What have you been printing anything lately?
Actually, I have like little like trinkets. You know, I've been so super practical with my prints anymore that it's like I need this exact thing that I need for things. You know,
and you don't use it unless
I
it.
feel like I've been
doing
so
that.
God blessed lazy lately. Like, what is the thing that I've been printing? All right, I don't think I have a version of it right here. So let me just say. So one of the things that I've been printing is my drain in my sinks. So you think about when you go in your bathroom, you turn your sink, you're spitting out your stuff.
Yeah.
And you know how there's the thing that you like pull up and so you can stop the drain?
Yeah.
Well, some crap happened. It
Totally.
rusted out down there and I
Yep.
can't push it up or down. And it was just like, it fell down. And I was like, maybe I could design a piece that holds that piece up. And I just like yanked it out, put that piece in, and like it holds it up.
Nice.
So like,
As opposed to fixing it.
instead of fixing
Right,
it, I was
yeah.
here, this will get me through.
Totally.
And then the funny thing was like, I spent all this time figuring out the logistics of like water flow and like how you have to like print it in such a way that the water actually goes through the thing to drain down the thing.
That
And
you
I was
could
like,
have easily
actually,
went
it's
and
right
fixed
here.
it.
Here's a version of it. Here's a version of exactly what I just printed. So let's look at that. So here, I don't know if you could see it. So this fits into a drain pipe. Now, I have a hollow version of this one, so you could actually just fit another thing into it. But if you put that into your drain, these little side things cut the water just enough that it flows down into your pipe, and then you could cheaply.
And so you don't need the actual thing that goes.
No,
down
I just
into
shoved
it.
this in there, and I'm just like, there you go, it's fixed. And then I put that there so like, if you dropped your something in there, it doesn't fall down your drain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then what
super
happens when
cheap.
that gets super gross? You just throw it away and
print
print
another
a new
one.
That's a freaking nightmare. That's the worst. That's the worst version of 3D printing.
It's amazing, Ryan. Tell me, just
We're
wash
filling
off
up the
other one.
oceans full of atoms,
It's
wasted 3D print.
biodegradable. I'm telling you.
Biodegradable.
It is.
My
It's
ass.
biodegradable filament. That's how we do this.
Biodegradable over how many decades?
3D printing. Yeah. Sorry, Mario. We figured around you. AI and 3D printing put your ass out of a job.
That's right.
All right. Let's see where we're at with this. So, this is kind of like.
What does the bed have to get to?
I think no. So the bed has to get to 60. So if you're looking
it's
up at the
okay.
top there, so it says CRS10, CR10S. That is the printer we're printing on.
Okay.
Then you have that little icon that says 0 at the top, and underneath is 24. That's saying the nozzle. That little nozzle right there is at 24 degrees. It's got to get up to
Should the top be at
200.
0?
No, what it does is it's like, hey, let's heat up the bed first, and then we'll jack that like sweet nozzle up.
Okay.
So we're at 56 right now. So once that bed gets tuned in, we're gonna be good. And then to the right, everyone's like, why is there? Well, not everyone. There was somebody like, I think it was you. It was like, why is there a biohazard symbol or something? I was like, that's the fan.
That's a fan. Yeah.
It's showing that the fan's doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving education right now. So
Totally.
if you go down one layer, it says X, Y, and Z. That's showing the position. So if you're at 155, X and Y are exactly in the center, and then Z is, with it's the up and down, basically where it's set it. And then you have.
It says it's at 0, but it's not touching it. Like.
It's because it went down. And then it knows the steps away from it. Okay, so it kicked over to 60 on the bed. Now you see it went up to 220 on the thing, and then the nozzle just is going to get blasted with heat, so that's going to rise up quick. And then you got a little bit below there, below the X. That's that 100 thing. The printer, it is a Creality CR10S. Modified heavily, so I put all kinds of different craziness on it. So if you look at it from this angle, see that yellow thing in there, and actually I have a version of it right here. It's a blower so that you can cool the print, and then I mounted a camera on it and things like that. So as we heat this thing up, this is the blower that I printed. So it blows air down this tube, and then it comes down these like little things, and it like cools it off. So when you see it from there, and that little like glowy red thing is called a BL Touch. So it's a leveler, so you can kind of see where it's at on the bed. And
Nice.
I designed that little red thing that sits on the front that holds the little camera, and so then that way you could see this sweet view of the camera.
I always love that one.
So that's
with
where
the
we're at.
superimposed like settings on top of it. It's good.
Yeah, that's where it is. And it's super hilarious because those settings are like a janky ass camera like focused on the screen of this thing over here. So
Oh, nice.
Oh man. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
H.E. Higley. Thanks for checking us out tonight.
Totally.
We got some filament coming out of there. I'm gonna go fix that on this other side.
It's pooping out. It always amazes me when I see how zoomed in this camera is. That when
It feels huge.
yeah, you're just
Feels
like,
so
oh
big.
yeah, it's like, oh, this is just this is the camera, and then you see those like pair of needle nose pliers come in.
They're very mini.
Yeah.
They're very mini. If you want to, oh shit, it's going to the thing. It's moving.
Okay, here we go.
Good luck. Oh, I didn't grab it. I didn't get it. It's all right. It's all right. I'm hoping it's gonna be good enough. Oof. That's where we do it.
Oh,
It's all good.
okay. I trust you.
So I'll turn Baby Z on for a second.
Okay, I see. You're
It's
just gonna
actually- it's
adjust it. Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I feel like that looks fine. Nope. Didn't get it.
No, I did not.
Nope.
Oh God.
Okay, it broke off. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. All right.
I think you got it.
Totally.
I mean, there's a little piece that would be great. Oh, there we go. Got it out of there.
You got it right at the last part where it wasn't doing the skirt anymore.
Look at this. He's gonna be so mini. He's mini.
Oh, man.
He's so small. I think
no.
it's good. It's actually within the spec of what we were hoping for. So I'm gonna do 0 on this. There's no Baby Z step that we need to mess with. So I'm turning that off.
Oh, good.
I think we're good. Why do I have this like pen on the ground? Did you drop a pen, right?
Maybe.
Did I drop a pen? There you go.
It likely was me.
Oh, that's all good. It was only like, my most expensive and amazing
precious
pen
pen
of all time.
of grandfather left me. Yeah, I feel like I can't tell how many it is, but
It's I mean,
looking
it's
good.
within the spec of what we were looking at
Okay,
there, so
good.
I think we're in a good space. So.
nice.
The fun part, I think, is watching that first layer.
Yeah,
Look at that.
nice. That looks good.
Yeah, it's laying it down really nice right now. First layers, man. On the show, we've been saying like we have a 3D printer on. Well, every time you start your show, it has a 3D printer icon. I kind of got rid
That's
of that
right,
one,
yeah.
but I mean, it's good to be able to get to this. Like, okay, I just gotta acknowledge, we decided to 3D print something with zero concept.
Right.
It has been like 20 minutes, and we're
Yeah.
in 3D printing.
Right. It's
That came
going.
from ChatGPT, my friend. That is
very
that
very
is
little intervention from us, but some.
a little tiny bit. So like there it is from like a little bit. It's not as cool to look at it from there. It's like this is
No,
the angle that
That's
you gotta
the
see.
angle.
But it's doing good, and we got the filament that
Oh,
Talon put
yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Just the fact that we can turn things around quickly, I appreciate.
It's
that
that
ability to do it.
It's that fast prototyping or whatever too, right?
Yeah.
You could just be like, "Hey, we have an idea. We want to do something. Great. Here it is, printing it out in real life for us to touch."
And I was gonna say that was one of the things that I've always felt like at home. Like sometimes it's daunting. You're like, oh, I need to find this little part, and then I spend I'm like 30 minutes later. I'm like, damn, why was I thinking that was gonna be a pain in the ass? Like I
Right.
got it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
and I've got to the point usually where I can do one prototype, or I sometimes get it and I nail it enough on the first one.
Right.
And that's the best part. Of
Yeah,
being able
well,
to do
I feel
some of
like
this stuff.
that's what's amazing about having just like a dialed in 3D printer, right? With all of the bells and whistles so that you could be like, okay, it's just ready to go. And all I have to do is do this 15 minutes of pre-work and now I'm printing stuff.
Like you learn it a little bit, but you know what? I feel like I live in fear daily. That like this thing's gonna break, or
It's gonna break.
this whole streaming.
Oh,
rig.
you would love it if it would break, because then you would get a different one and you'd have to start all over again. With a
Oh
whole
God,
other
I don't
thing.
know. I don't know if I have the time
Yeah,
to give a
that's
shit
true.
about it.
That's true.
I did look at what the updated version of this, and it's like, do you hear that?
Yeah.
The updated version of this is silent.
Oh man.
And I was like, man, I kind of like the coolness of it being able
yeah.
to like do the things there.
Right. Yeah, like there's something about that noise of like a dot matrix printer. Like it's
Yeah, you know it's going. Because like sometimes I'll go in the other room is my room,
Sure.
and so you can kind of hear it, and
Oh,
you're like,
yeah.
as you're starting to fall asleep, and then you're like, oh shit, something's wrong. Let's go over there. Oh wait, no, it's all
You're
good.
like,
It's
oh,
all good.
it was just the 3D printer moving on to a new section.
Yeah. So it was one of the funny things I saw. I sit in the 3D printing thread on Reddit, and they have a stand-in-place rocket launcher that you could build, and it
Nice.
basically it comes off the bed, and then you print like little cool rockets that you send in. You just like shove it in there and you shoot them out. I was like, damn it, that
That's
looks
pretty cool.
so awesome.
It's like the Lego pieces. You've seen those like Lego pieces that are little guns.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then you like, and some little piece holds it in or whatever, and then you just sort of push it one side and then it shoots it out. So it's like all one piece. There's no extra.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a very cool way to do it.
Well, is this it? Is the end of
Yeah.
show 11, 12? So you saw the show. You saw the sweetness that we've been able to make.
Yeah.
We're going to let this print out. Look at that. It's got some infill right now. It's going to go sweet. So next time we're going to have Goat as one of our pieces
And
on
I'm
the
thinking,
board.
I'm thinking we should have some. We should try to just get some vector stuff going, at least to play test, right? So we can have a different vector meeple for each one of the bad guys, even if it's not
Got it.
like fully as cool as we want it to be in the end. I think we should have a polar bear one, and we should have a Mrs. Claus one, and a zombie elf one. And...
All right, just so as we think about this going forward,
Yeah.
what color are the enemies?
Oh, right, red.
Okay. And then the everyone else is green. Guess that's Christmassy.
Because it would be Christmassy.
That's why I picked the white and the red on the dice.
Yeah,
'Cause,
maybe white?
Because it felt Christmassy.
Yeah, maybe white would be better. Maybe it wouldn't be as on the nose
Right. Like for the good, like the
for
good
the
guys.
good guys.
And
Of course, the good guys got to be white, Adam.
Of course, so diverse, Ryan. Great decisions there.
Think about your DE&I training.
we could make them a different color than that. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for everyone participating in the chat tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. It was very on topic because one of the things that happened in the AI discussion is somebody was absolutely 100%. You put in that you want some sort of graphic. It usually does put white people in there.
It puts white, yeah.
And so it is bullshit. It's
Totally.
like how do you get more of that diversity in there? And so I mean that's cool. We got to think about it for our game. Maybe we put somebody that's green. I like that idea. Whatever. Yeah. Green and red is our enemies. Red enemies, green folks. You can do whatever you want from that.
Or like gray. Like it could be like gray and red.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if just like green and red. Maybe I mean it's Christmassy. Maybe
sure.
That's good enough.
The sleigh has to be like the
brown
the
or something
cool,
and black.
Yeah,
I think it has to be different colors. But the only bad thing about that is then you're telling people you're like, yeah, print our game, but make sure you have a dozen different color filaments.
Hell yeah! So
well,
thanks, Mike, for participating tonight.
Yeah,
Always good insights.
Oh man,
thanks for joining us in the conversation. We got H.E. Higley.
Totally was in there.
We got what was
Stealth Mouse.
Stealth Mouse. We got. Talon in the chat.
Totally.
There were some mystery kind of viewers that did not want to participate in the chat, but thanks for joining us. We love having you here as we have these discussions on AI and where it's headed in the future. And so next time, what you got some streams tomorrow?
Yeah, we got we're playing It Takes Two. So Kathy and I will be playing It Takes Two tomorrow.
And next week I'm gonna be out of it because I won't probably have too many challenges. So next Thursday I may not be in the thing, but if I get in town in time, I might try to swing by your house and just do a special event, or I'll be like phoned in if I can do it that way. So one of those things. So, but I'm hoping to get back to the Witcher series. Actually, I've been itching to get into that, and we'll continue with all our stories going forward. So thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you next time with Double Drop Down. So peace out, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Battle.